I subscribe to the channel and I don't get ads.
I don't watch this
All
shit.
of us are swimming in money right now.
I'm a
I
good
don't
boy.
subscribe to the channel and I bitch about ads.
There you go.
That's true. I gotta make us a new thing. No. This will work.
Ooh.
I'll do some finagling here. I need you guys to behave though.
I always
No.
behave.
Just
No.
fine.
These are on
have
right
to-
now. I have
I
not.
need-
I
I
haven't
need-
had. I haven't even opened it yet and poured myself a drink.
I
I'm only
understand
drinking
that.
water.
I understand that, but I need you guys to really. Oh, come on, where is? I'm trying to like build into this here. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
I'm a good boy.
Okay. That's how we're watching this today.
Can't see you.
What do you mean can't see me?
Tim. Are you Tim?
I'm Tim.
I didn't hear you. There's a song going.
Not on, Tim.
Your camera is not showing you, Tim.
Well,
Now I
it
gotta
should be-
capture this. All right.
I can see me.
Oh, it just shows your picture.
Oh well, I don't think that's a problem on my end.
Alright.
Oh, he said deal with it.
I can't see you. I can't see either, Tim. So just you know.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
Wanna ghost?
No, it's not
I'm
gonna
on
work.
it.
There you go.
I was just constructing a theory in my head that Tim was in some sort of costume and was waiting for the secret reveal. But I guess that's it.
He's actually Donald Trump.
I knew it.
Donald Tim.
Timmeld Drump.
That's how it is.
I'm gonna try and just get us in like a block instead of the normal thing. But Skype is not wanting to cooperate. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're gonna crop. Cream of the crop. I rise to the top. There we go. There we are. A little live production for you guys. That's how that's done. And I'm gonna move this over. Schmear.
Are we being produced right now?
Oh yeah, I'm producing the fuck out of you right now.
We're
You
being
don't even know.
overproduced right now.
I'm a production machine. I do this. I fucking do this. Alright, let me grab that thing from over Schmear. Good, the song stopped. Thank fucking Jesus.
It's finally over.
Oh.
My head.
I hear it in my dreams. Oh, I guess I
can't
could have
take-
used this one. Oh, that makes way more sense. The song.
There, there, there.
There we go. And then we'll just switch this over to Schmear. And look, it's the same thing, but it's not. It's fixed.
Is it?
Wait, what?
Vey.
No, it's
I
did the
see
wrong.
two things of
What the
things.
hell? Now I'm confused.
No, there's two of us. You are overproducing us.
I'm confused my damn self. No,
I
go
can
to
do half of what
screen.
you're doing.
We're
No,
being,
this.
we're being.
There we
overly-
go. There it is. There she
Who is that guy?
Some fucking dude.
Grubnib is his
Oh,
name.
Doug Bergram.
Oh,
He's
Bergram.
a nobody. You'll never remember his name ever.
His name is Gribblin.
Emergency room thinks
Already
I have a
forgotten.
high-grade
What is this
tear
doing?
as opposed to a total rupture. If I had a total rupture,
It's dried all of this stuff up.
What is going on?
What about total ruptures? and
What is
dryness?
she
Oh,
doing? And
He
why?
injured himself the night before the debate, so like he had to go to the hospital. He hurt his leg or something.
And there is
No,
this
I'm talking
sticks
about.
right here as
We
well.
just turn it on,
Chin
and
down
homegirl
here.
is just squatting in a skirt. Girlfriend,
Hey man,
get the camera up a couple of degrees, please. For fuck's sake.
For bringing all of this
It's a fucking kid
debris.
show.
You can see some sticks
For
right here
fuck's
as
sake.
well, and rocks and all this stuff. And because the sun
That
has
is not
been
a
beating
classy
down
lady.
hard over the past 3 days, it's dried all of this stuff up, and there's no longer a creek even here. There was some water that was trickling
Beat it
down,
so
but it was actually
hard.
coming over the road instead of under right here. And we were told that this area of water was about 12 feet deep.
Looks crazy.
And now there's
Why
no
would he do
water
this?
at
This looks
all. And
terrible.
so we've spoken with
Mikey,
people all across the
fix
county
it,
who tell us
Mikey.
they want things
Mikey,
to return
it
back
looks
to normal
bad.
as
Fix
fast
it,
as
they
possible.
say.
We have
They're
seen
screaming it
crews
at their
out and
screens right
about
now.
all day
They're
long
screaming
trying
it.
to clean up those
Because they
roads
have
Screaming.
and get the
They don't have
dirt
any
off of them,
face.
make them drivable again.
Fix it.
Crews are trying
Fix
to
it.
get that dirt off of home driveways as well. There are chairs
'Cause
and
when you're the
garbage
man,
cans stuck in
you
the
don't
mud.
worry about these
Bob
little
Fonzie
things.
lives in the Ukaipa Mountains.
You play
2
your
years
game.
ago, neighbors across the street held a gender reveal party that sparked massive wildfires in the region. Fonzie says
bees like that,
mudslides
though.
carried all that debris left over from those wildfires into his yard.
Okay, we'll come back to them when they're actually talking about something we care about.
All right.
So
Wait, isn't there a debate happening right now?
that's live.
Nah.
It hasn't started yet. They're just talking to random people in California, I think.
God. They said
Because,
9
you know,
p.m.
Well, what do you want us
Tropical
to do, Tim?
Storm Hillary.
I want you
conjurated
to
by the
contact Fox
Democrats.
News
Okay.
and tell them to cut the shit.
You're right. You're right.
That's right. Cut the shit, Fox News. Cut the shit.
The shit.
Cut
I
the
am-
shit.
The
I am
shit
happy
you're-
that she identified that Styx can exist in riverbeds.
No.
Styx is a great band. I don't know about
What's your
Riverbeds,
favorite
but
Styx
it's a great
song?
band. Oh, that's so hard.
Boy.
I would have to really think about that.
Ooh.
They got some unique songs that are just like awesome. Like Rivendell is so perfect for a tribute to the Lord of the Rings, right? And Baitor and the Snow Dog, just that instrumental. That's yeah.
Who doesn't like the Targaryens theme song? Am I right?
Not sure.
That's what we're talking about?
Nope.
I can't insult Ollie. He missed it.
I did.
Damn it. Doesn't work
I
now.
am stoned, Mikey.
That's true.
Yeah.
Tim, did
Are
you
producing right now?
Yeah, I'm producing right now. Tim, what's going on with your feed there, partner?
What do you know what's going on with my feed? I'm fine.
You got your NDI on and everything?
My what?
Your NDI?
I don't know what that is.
What the heck's going on? We're just broadcasting a blue screen.
See?
My camera's on. My camera's on.
Why are you giving me blue stuff? That's weird. All right.
I don't know. I don't
told
have any
you it wasn't us.
blue stuff.
It's you.
It's
No.
not me.
It's not me.
I can see me.
Man,
I
it
see
is.
me.
Yeah, we can see you too in the little screen.
Yeah, but I was trying to get our regular shit back to in their normal places, but it wouldn't go over.
Okay.
Curious.
Am I not lighted properly? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I said NDI, the settings that you did in the thing, but it's doing it for everybody, so don't worry about it.
Okay. I was going to say I haven't changed any settings.
So
My
we have
NDI is gone.
we have a guest, Tim. Oh, and did you start your show?
We've been on this whole time?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for about
Well,
5 minutes now.
10 minutes.
Hi, and welcome to Speaking from the Center.
That was a good one, right? That one lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well then.
Got him.
Got him. I am Tim.
Yes, you are. Say hello.
And these are all the people in the show.
I'm a
people.
person.
If you don't recognize us by now, well, you're not really a follow-up
You
fan.
can-
If
You can-
you don't love me by now.
You can go ahead and identify yourselves.
My name
Security.
is Nolan.
This person here, gotta go. Security.
Will all people with complaints please raise their hand?
So the debate is on.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Does anyone? It's being broadcast by Fox News. So if anyone
It's
has,
Fox or Fox Business.
I was there. That was Fox.
I bet they're not doing it on YouTube. I bet they're only doing it from their TV.
Yeah.
yeah.
No way, dude.
Platform.
No,
That
no,
would
no
suck.
way, no way.
Right there.
Someone's
Live
watching. it.
presidential debate.
No, that's got his commentary on it. Chill.
Oh, never mind.
Calm
Don't do that
down.
one.
Trigger happy. Hold
Do
on.
that other one.
We
Play
have
it.
to just wait a second. Don't just yell shit out. Let's think about what we're doing.
I have it because I used one of my random email accounts to sign up for Fox News.
Oh, did I block them or something?
No, like I went to their website.
What the fuck? It's like snuffed. It should be the #1 video.
Am I able to share?
I don't think that's a good idea. I'll take a link though.
I don't know if the link will work for you, but I'll send it.
If not, I have YouTube TV. That would probably have it, but I think I'd have to give you my login info for it.
Yep, you got to sign on to Fox News.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
All right,
Stop the share, Tim. Send him your information.
No, I'll make an account. That's fine. What's the stream doing, by the way?
You don't even have to like make a whole account. You just have to give them an email address.
Progress Only is very upset that we signed up for something as trivial as Fox.
The suffering we do for you.
We do it so you don't have
I watch Fox
bin-
News about once a year.
The bin
For about 5
podcast at
minutes.
gmail.com.
That is
Oh,
4 minutes. That's
God.
4 minutes too long.
Not going to my shit.
So, yeah, I use the throwaway email account.
Yeah.
Progress.
me
It
too.
does. I used like a email account that I haven't used in years.
All right.
The snuff my guff.
I'm starting to drink.
It begins.
You know what? I'll drink with you because why not?
Hey, Fox News knows what kind of supplements my dogs like.
Okay.
So you were named earlier. I'm going to get Vivek. You were named earlier. I'm going to get Vivek.
Oh God, now I have 100 of
This
them.
isn't that complicated, guys. Unlock American energy. Drill,
layer them
frack,
over
burn
themselves.
coal, embrace nuclear. Put people back to work.
Wow. All right, whatever the fuck his name is.
Reform the U.S.
I
Fed,
support nuclear
stabilize
energy.
the U.S. dollar,
Only
and
gets
so does
go to
everybody.
war. The only war
Yeah,
that
but
I
he
will
also
declare
supports
as
using
U.S.
coal.
president will be the war on the federal administrative state.
No, he
that
said
is the source of those
burn
toxic
coal.
regulations.
Right.
Acting
That
like a
is-
wet blanket on the
that is
economy. So
aggressive.
I'm not sure I exactly
Just gonna
understood
burn
Mike
it so it
Pence's
goes
comment,
away.
but I'll let
Yeah.
you all parse that out. For me, it's pretty simple. That's something
The
a
more
U.S.
we burn
president
it,
can
the
do
less there
with
is.
focus, and I'll deliver on
Well, let
it.
me
It's
explain it to
self-serve-
you. Let me explain it to
self-solving.
you, Vivek, if I
The
can.
quicker we get this shit into the
I'll go
atmosphere.
slower this time.
I sometimes struggle with the reading
Look,
comprehension.
I was a House conservative leader before it was cool. I actually pushed a deficit reduction
Boo.
action
Never
the last
cool.
time we actually
It was never
reduced
cool.
the
That was
national debt in
cute.
the United States when I was the
Shut
leader
your
of
ass
House
up when they come for you,
conservatives.
Mike.
I balanced
I'm a
budgets and cut
TikTok
taxes when I was
star.
governor.
Come for you, Mike.
I mean,
You
look,
better
Joe
shut up.
Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. Now is not the time for on-the-job
Even though the
training.
economy is the
We don't need to
strongest
bring
it's
in
been
a
in
rookie.
decades.
We don't need to bring in people without experience. We need to bring in
And you are up, Governor DeSantis.
So here's the thing. Why are we in this mess? Part of it, and a major reason, is because how this federal government handled COVID-19 by locking down this economy. It was a mistake. It should have never happened. And in Florida, we led the country out of lockdown. We kept
I
our
can't
states
listen to
free
his
and
idiot that
open.
loud.
And I can tell you this,
No, I
as
agree
your
with him.
president, I will never.
Because the support of their base has dwindled significantly because they all got COVID and died.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, you're way too quiet. Number two, we have to make our things over the top of the thing, or we'll never catch up.
Yeah, no, we can't pause this. 'Cause
You,
it's
yeah,
live,
you
so-
got to just yell over the
Okay.
top of it.
Maybe make them a little tiny bit quieter so that we can yell over them.
Copy that.
Never let the deep state bureaucrats lock you
Aw.
down. You don't take somebody like Fauci and coddle him. You bring Fauci
Who
in,
coddled?
sit him
You know what?
down,
Fuck Ron
and you
We were
DeSantis.
very
You
mean.
are
We were
fired.
mean to Fauci.
Yeah, people were very mean to Fauci. Let Chris Christie speak.
just want
Shut
to
up.
I just want to respond to Mike for 1 second because he invoked me back. Listen, now that everybody's gotten their memorized, pre-prepared slogans out of the way, we can actually have a real discussion now.
No, you can't.
reality and the fact of the matter
That's so cute.
Not really, Mike. Actually, we're just gonna have some fun tonight. And the reality is, you
All
have a
this
bunch
is
of
Donald
people,
Trump's fault.
professional
Everyone being
Yeah.
flippy
super PAC
is
Yeah.
Donald Trump's fault.
following
They're trying to-
slogans handed
they're
over to them by their
single-handedly
former big super
killed
PACs
political
last week.
debate.
Like
The
they're
real
trying to
choice we
dress
face
up
in
like
this primary
daddy.
is
Like
this.
it's fucking
Do you
weird,
want
man.
a super PAC puppet, or do you want
Look,
a
he's even
patriot
wearing
who
that
speaks
bright,
the truth?
gigantic
Do
red
you want
tie.
With the
incremental
double
reform,
Windsor.
which is what you're hearing about,
It's just
or do you
his
want
suit fits
revolution?
better.
Okay.
And I stand on the side of the American revolution.
I've got to address
rather
one of
than
the-
the-
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We need everyone to have a moment on the economy.
Yeah.
I think
Easy,
that's
buddy.
fair.
They didn't say your brown ass was
People
American.
have not- we're gonna get back to that. We are.
You better put a hyphen in front of that
People
American. You're at the
from Governor
Republicans.
Berger and then from Governor Hutchinson on the economy, sir.
Well, great. Thank you, Martha. And of course, I'm from a town
Who are
of
you?
300 people. It's a big deal to make it on this stage.
Asa Hutchinson.
Somebody
Oh, that's Doug Wilson. See, nobody knows who fucking that guy is.
But when they
Very
were all wishing me well, and I think I took them a little too literally when they said go to Milwaukee and break a leg. So, I do want to say on this, we're missing
belly
something.
laugh.
We can't just talk about the Biden economy
You
because the
break
economy,
bones easier
energy,
than
and national
Biden.
security are all tied together. Of course, we're paying too much for our energy in our state, right, in our country
Joe
right now.
ain't doing no
But
basketball,
part of the
but he's
reason
way
why
more
is
durable.
because of the Biden policies on energy. We've got a plan right now, the $1.2 trillion of Green New Deal spending buried in the Inflation Creation Act is something that is just subsidizing China. If we're going to stop buying oil from the Middle East
my
and start
God.
buying batteries
It
from China,
literally
we're just
says
trading
it has
OPEC
to
for
be
Sinopec.
American.
And then
Yeah.
belatedly,
It's in there. It
belatedly,
has to be American.
the Biden
The chips
administration
have to be
literally
American.
building battery
sanctions on
plants in
Russian
the
oil.
Southwest.
Well, we put sanctions
What are
on
you
Russian
talking
oil.
about?
Well, then it's 20% off. Who's buying it? China. So
this
if
is
you
the
buy a
problem.
battery in
There's
this
no
country,
fact
you buy a
checking.
solar panel,
Right.
it's being
that's
produced in
why
a,
they took
in
it
a
off of
plant in
everybody
China
else's
powered by
network, and they
coal,
won't let 'em
or it's being
stream it.
powered by oil and gas at 20% off. And every farmer in this country would like to buy diesel at
He knows
20% off,
somebody's there
just like they're
fact-checking.
buying it in China.
Governor Hutchinson, quickly.
Let's model ourselves after China.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Delighted to be here tonight. And let me just tell you that I'm a pro-life governor from a conservative state
Nobody
that have a
asked you.
conservative
Nobody
record
asked.
in which I lowered taxes
Tons of
in
mice, I blame you.
Arkansas
Not
as
a good
governor.
thing.
I created a $2
This is
billion
tons of mice's fault.
surplus that I passed over to my successor, and I made
Oh,
sure
yeah, he's got
that we
Huckabee
shrunk
right
the
now.
size
I'm
of
sorry.
government.
Never mind.
We have 14% fewer state
You're hurting
employees
already.
in Arkansas
Huckabee?
after I left government than when
Suck
I took
that
over
bee.
as governor 8 years ago.
Huckabee.
I tell that because
I
that's
art
what we
no
need
one.
in Washington, D.C. We need somebody who
Alex
can
says,
actually
all I heard was we
constrain the
wouldn't be
growth
like
of federal
China.
government, that can actually reduce the size, and I've pledged to reduce by 10% our federal non-defense workforce. That's
Federal
a specific pledge to
non-defense
make that attacks the
workforce.
administrative
Oh
state.
my God.
And let me
He
applaud some
he
of the
said
business
he's gonna
partners that are here
shrink the-
that have had success in
Like they
business.
always
But
say.
let me tell you,
We have a
I've
surprise
been a federal
guest.
prosecutor. I've served our country in
see who it
terms
is,
of being
Brenda?
head of the DEA,
my
in
God.
Homeland Security, in times of crisis.
Brenda.
And while
Oh
I
my
think
God,
that that's
beautiful,
experience
babe.
that is important for the future of our
Brought
you a
country,
surprise.
to be the president of the United States that can
Hey,
lead
girl.
with positive
Mike
solutions
invited
and be
me
held
last
accountable.
minute, so I just want to jump
We
on
have
for a
lot
little
of
while.
topics to get to, and I promise we're going to get to everyone if we play within the rules. Okay, next topic.
Let
More than
Kristen
1,000
speak.
people are still unaccounted
We're
for
watching
in
the
Maui,
Republican debate. It's
after the deadliest U.S.
questionable
wildfire
at
in
best.
more than a century. Hawaii's
best,
governor
yeah.
and White House officials said that climate change amplified the cost of human error.
And a tropical storm hit California for the first time in
Bro, they look like they're
84
made out of,
years.
like,
The ocean hit
63%
101
styrofoam.
degrees off the
I know,
coast of
right?
Florida.
I think
and in the
this is like
last
the
month,
Fox
the heat
News
wave in the
filter.
Southwest broke records
just
nearly
look fake
50
as fuck.
years
No,
old.
there's an
So Alexander
aesthetic.
Diaz from Young America's
They create,
Foundation has a
they
question for
find
you.
these people and they build them.
Polls consistently show that young
Like, he
people's
looks
number one
robots.
issue is climate change. How will you, as both President of the United States and leader of the Republican Party, calm their fears that the Republican Party doesn't care about climate change?
So we want to start on
Catholic
this with
Yeah, let's hear
a
this.
show
Oh,
of hands.
America.
Let's hear this.
Do
Let's
you
hear this.
believe in human behavior is
Dave.
causing climate change? Raise your hand if you do.
Look, we're not school children. Let's have the debate. I mean, I'm happy to take it to
Bitch,
start.
it ain't your turn.
So do you want
Hey.
You're not in charge,
I don't think
man.
that's the way it
Yeah,
should
shut
be.
your
I wanna
ass
say,
up.
Alexander,
Simple
this. First
instructions.
of all, One of the reasons our country's decline is
Oh,
because
y'all
of the
gonna
way
let
the
him run
corporate
over?
media treats Republicans versus Democrats. Biden was on the beach while those people were suffering. He was asked about it. He said no comment. Are you kidding me?
They
As
actually
somebody
proved
that's
that he
handled
wasn't
disasters
on
in
the
Florida,
beach.
you got to be activated. You've got to be there.
That
You've got to be present. You've got to be helping people
Can we
who
stop
are
the
doing
filibuster
this.
and answer the question?
And here's the deal.
Let's just answer the
Why are
question.
y'all
Yeah.
letting him talk?
Is that a yes?
Is that a hand raise?
Who the
They
fuck
do
is the
not-
I think it was a
moderator?
hand raise for him, and it's my
Mikey,
hands in my pocket.
this is
Because the
Trump.
climate change agenda
I didn't
is
raise a
a
hand.
hoax. Let us be honest as Republicans. I'm the only person on the
Boy,
stage who
Jimmy
isn't bought and
Neutron,
paid for,
get
so I
your
can say
LeBron
this.
ass.
The climate change agenda is a
Not by
hoax.
paper, because nobody
The
would pay
climate
for
change agenda is a hoax. And we have to declare.
Hey, you said climate change is the hoax.
And the reality
That's on my
is
bingo
the
card.
anti-climate agenda is the wet blanket on our economy. And so the reality is
That's on
more
my bingo
people are
card.
dying of bad climate
Sweet,
change
I sent you a link.
policies than they
We have
are
bingo
of
cards?
actual
Damn.
climate change.
Governor Haley, are you
The
bought and
death
paid
rate
for?
is down by 98%
Hold on.
in the last century.
Listen.
I've had it, no,
Wait, hold on.
I've had enough. I've had enough already tonight of a guy who
Yes.
sounds like ChatGPT
Fucking go.
person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and
Get him, Chris.
said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
We called him the worst thing ever. Obama part
Just like you did to
two.
The same
Obama.
type of amateur.
And you'll help elect me just like you did to Obama, too. Give me that
The
bear hug,
same
brother.
type of amateur.
Hold on. Governor Haley, would you like to
Clown
respond?
show.
Are you
So,
bought
Brett,
and paid
what I
for?
would like to say is the fact that I think this is exactly why Margaret
God,
Thatcher
you
said,
look
if you want
fake.
something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
Yes, quips. Take digs at each other.
First of all, we do care about clean air, clean water. We want to see that taken care of, but there's a right way to do it. And the right way to do it is, first of all, yes, is climate change real? Yes, it is. But if you want to go and really change the environment, then we need to start telling China and India that they have to lower their emissions. That's where our problem is.
did.
And these green
Yeah, guy in
subsidies
the
that
middle.
Biden has put in, all he's done is help China because he doesn't understand
Wait,
all these
isn't she the
electric
Indian
vehicles
one
that he's
who's
done.
hiding that she's
What that
Indian?
does, half of the batteries for electric
That's
vehicles
Nikki
are
Haley,
made
right?
in China. And so that's
is
not
Nikki
helping the environment. You're putting money in China's pocket, and Biden did that. So first of all, I think we need to acknowledge the truth, which is these subsidies are not working. We also need to take on the international world
Ding,
and say,
ding.
okay, India and China, you've got to
Boring.
stop polluting, and that's when we'll start to do it.
Senator Scott, are you bought and paid for?
Absolutely.
Are you bought and paid for?
I'm sorry.
Are you bought and paid for?
Absolutely not. I mean, here's what the American people deserve: is a debate about the issues
get
that
your
affect
man.
their lives. Going back and forth, being childish, is not helpful to the American people to
ain't said
decide on
shit
the
the
next
whole
leader
time.
of our country. Number one, wait a second. And number two, as a kid who grew up in a single-parent household mired in
God damn
poverty, I wondered, was the American dream real for kids who are devastated by poverty, devastated by the challenges of life? I came to the conclusion that America can do for anyone what she's done for me if
getting kinda
we focus
crowded
on
in here,
restoring
isn't it?
hope, creating opportunities, and protecting America.
sweet.
If we want the
Hey, sweet.
environment to be better, and we all do, the best thing to do is to bring our jobs home from China. If we create 10 million new jobs in my Made in America plan, we will have a better economy and a better environment.
You're
Let me tell you why I
already
say
doing
that,
that.
Brett.
Do it
America,
quickly.
America has cut. I'm a Southern boy. I talk slow. So America has cut our carbon footprint in half in the last 25 years. The places where
Tim
they
Scott
are
got
continuing to
guns for
increase,
4.5
Africa,
people.
950 million people. India, over 1 billion. China, over 1 billion. Why would we put ourselves at a disadvantage? Devastating our own economy. Let's bring our jobs home.
We have a lot of different topics to get to.
Yeah, China
we do.
will
We
save
thank
the
you all.
environment.
Thank you, Senator Scott. So coming up next, the candidates will weigh in on what could be a defining issue in the 2024 campaign. The first Republican debate continues moments away.
Better be Trump a criminal.
This is worse than I thought.
We've got to be a lot smarter on how we talk about women and how we show them that we care.
We're
going to stand up for the unborn in Washington, D.C.
and discuss.
Be the nominee for the.
what we just witnessed.
Oh, they're in trouble.
Dude, ridiculousness. That's what we witnessed.
They're in trouble. Like big trouble. They all look weak as shit. That's bad. Like if that was that was an embarrassment. I wouldn't be proud of that first half. No Gatorade until you fucking get a bucket.
Yeah, if this was a football game, they went in their own end zone too many times.
My fiance just said this is the new American Idol, and I don't think I'm pretty.
Oh God.
Tim, that's called a safety.
Yeah, safeties. Just
or in soccer, we call them own goals.
They dunked in the wrong goal.
They dunked in the wrong goal.
They
dunked in the wrong house.
Here's the problem.
They poured Gatorade on the ref instead of the coach.
Is like there's three guys up there looking for a debate, and everyone else is just looking to shout slogans at each other.
What's wrong with that?
What was the name of the last guy that spoke before the break?
Chris Christie.
No, it was the Tim Scott.
Oh yeah, Tim Scott.
Yeah.
Was he advocating for the socialization of private industry by forcing jobs to come back here?
Yes. I mean, America.
Patriotism.
I gotta open up my phone. Is anyone watching YouTube for the chat? No. Everybody's on Twitch, I bet.
I have
Trees is
YouTube.
There was one chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not.
Sorry. Oh, it's Trees.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I think that's Kevin Chaos.
Mm.
Everyone changed their freaking names on me. First,
But,
everybody was the atheist, and then everybody changed their name to such and such the atheist too. I have no idea because it's not anything close to what it was before. So, yeah.
But
Keep
yes,
your damn names.
They are embarrassing as a group of people, like as a group of politicians. They're embarrassing.
Like these are
They're not
adult
really
professionals.
distinguishing. They're not distinguishing themselves from each other. They're all saying the same thing. They're all yelling at this. They're yelling the same thing.
Yep.
And nothing new is being said. And I think this is the problem with the Republican Party is that they don't adjust themselves to what is necessary. They keep with the same old, burning coal, like they said.
Drill, baby,
oil,
drill.
that's-
Sideways, upways, and
small
innards.
government, big defense. The economy is going in the toilet, even though it's not. Inflation is going crazy, even though it's not. All the jobs are going to China, even though it's not. Like, they're not saying anything new.
I have a visitor in my room.
I have two important points for anybody watching this. We've had the greatest and the first net positive repatriation of jobs since the 1940s.
What does that mean?
That means more manufacturing jobs have been created in the United States than have been created overseas by American companies.
So directly contradictory to what they're saying.
Piece of fucking shit, Biden.
Number two,
Garbage fucking
Tim,
pit Biden.
Tim, correct me if I'm wrong because you probably know the headline number, but I think the headline number for CPI, which is the inflation number, is at 3.
Yeah, it's at. I think it's at or just above 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we're
Which
back.
We're back, everybody.
And even in
Just
red
yell
states,
over.
there are more swing state referendums.
The
that are
current
coming up
argument
as we head into
is
the
how
elections
much
as well on
unemployment
this.
will the Fed go
Governor Haley,
for
what do you
to
say
get that
to your
last
party
1% down
state,
so that
which
we're down
today
to.
confirmed
Well, yeah, and the Fed said that they're continuing to raise interest rates just because people are making too much money.
women, suburban voters across this
Word.
country?
Thank you, Martha. I am
Not us, but
unapologetically
somebody.
pro-life, not because the Republican
Someone.
Party tells me to
Somebody's
be,
making money.
but because my husband was adopted and I had trouble having both of my children, so I'm surrounded by blessings. Having said that,
What
we
is your
need to
husband
stop
being adopted?
demonizing this issue. This is
No
talking
question
about
it.
the fact that
What
other
does that
elected
have to do
justices
with
didn't need to
pro-life?
decide something this personal.
Or
Because it's personal for
anti-abortion.
every
They
woman
need to
and
stop
man.
calling themselves
Now
pro-life.
it's been put in the hands of the people. That's great. When it comes to a
No, it's
federal
not.
ban,
No,
let's
what the
be
fuck?
honest with the American people and say it will take 60 Senate votes. It will take a majority of the House. So in order to do that, let's find consensus. Can't we all agree that we should ban late-term abortions? Can't we all agree?
I'm not a doctor.
I'm
I'm not a
Can't we all
doctor.
agree that doctors and nurses who don't believe in abortion shouldn't have to perform them? Can't we all agree that contraception should be available? And can't we all agree
Oh, she's
that
outta
we are
here.
not going to
I
put
know
women
she
in
didn't just
jail
say
or
that
give
out
her the
loud.
death penalty if
Boo.
she gets
Did
an
she say
abortion?
birth control?
Let's treat this like
Get her
like
out.
a respectful issue that it is and humanize the situation and stop demonizing the situation.
Brett, you're not mentioned, Vice President Pence. Governor DeSantis, you signed a 6-week
Don't let
abortion
him
ban
speak.
in Florida.
Don't let him
He's
speak.
so
One of your biggest
stupid.
financial backers
grimacing.
said that you need to, quote, shift to get moderates or you will lose. What do you
God
say
damn
to
it, Brenna.
him and others who say politically that is a tough thing to sell nationally?
Well, I would say we sold
100%
the biggest
of
election
abortions
landslide
start with
victory
men.
in the history of the Republican
You know
Party
what?
in the state of Florida in 2022. That's what I did. We can win. But second of all, look,
people
you got
are
to do what you
dying
think is right.
things.
I believe in a culture of life. I was proud to sign the heartbeat bill.
Do
One of the
you,
most
Ron
impactful
DeSantis?
moments
Do
of my
you?
life was when I heard the heartbeat of my oldest daughter in my
What about
wife's
your
womb,
youngest
and then
daughter,
saw
you
the
fucking
sonograms
asshole?
of all three of
Doesn't
my
matter.
kids. What the
Kids. Fuck the other
Democrats are
kids.
trying to do on this issue is wrong to allow abortion all the way up to the moment of birth. I know a lady
That
in
is
Florida
so
named
wrong
Penny.
what you're
She
doing
survived
right now. I
multiple
can't
abortion
believe it.
attempts. She was left discarded in a pan. Fortunately,
No!
her grandmother saved her and brought her to a different hospital. We're better than what the Democrats are
No!
selling. We are
You
not
made
gonna
that
I
allow
need a
abortion all the
citation
way
for
up
that.
till
We need
birth.
a
You made
citation.
that
We will
up.
hold them accountable
Nobody
for their
does that,
extremism.
ever.
But just to be clear, Governor, would you sign a 6-week ban federally?
I'm going to stand on the side of life. Look, I understand Wisconsin is going to do it different than Texas. I understand
Oh, he's
Iowa
gonna puss
and New
out. He's
Hampshire are gonna
pussing
be
out.
different. But I will support
knew he would.
the cause of
Moderates.
life as governor and as president.
Vice
must
President
have
Pence,
a-
you're shaking your
We must
head.
have a national.
Hold on, Senator. Vice President Pence, you're shaking your head. What?
Well, look, I'm not new to this cause. After
Bet
I
you're
gave
new
my
to
life
pussy.
Jesus Christ
Sorry.
as my Lord and Savior, I opened up the book and I read.
I shouldn't have said
"Before you
that.
in the womb,
I get
shame."
shame. I get shame. I'm sorry.
See, I set
Low
before you
blow.
life and death,
Shame.
blessings and curses. Now choose life.
Fired up, dude.
And I knew from that moment on, the cause of life had to be my cause. And I've been a champion for life in the Congress, a champion for life as governor and as vice president. And to be honest with
Where's
you,
he
Nikki,
from?
you're my friend, but consensus is the opposite
Indiana?
of leadership. When the Supreme Court
Consensus
returned
What?
this
is the
question
opposite
to the
of
American people,
leadership.
they didn't just send it to the states
that-
only.
Isn't that
It's not a
democracy?
states-only issue. It's a moral
That's
issue. And I
minority-
promise you, as President of the
minority
United
rule.
States, the American people will have a champion for life in the Oval Office. Can't we have a minimum
back to your
standard
fucking
Look, they're
radio
not even-
talk
state
show.
in
They're
the
not
nation
clapping.
that says when a baby is capable of feeling
They're not cheering.
pain, an abortion cannot be allowed. A
They would-
15-week
you know what I mean? There's
ban is
no
an idea whose
interruption
time
of
has come.
applause.
It's supported by 70% of the American
Yeah.
people, but it's going to take unapologetic leadership.
They're not behind 'em.
Leadership that stands on principle
not
and
behind 'em.
expresses compassion
Nah,
for
I
women
don't give a fuck
in
about Mike
crisis,
Pence.
Hold on.
pregnancies.
Well, it's Mike
and
Pence.
You didn't get one
as
clap.
President of the United
He
States.
called my name, so I want to respond to that.
30
seconds.
So
There it
first
is.
of
That's a
all,
courtesy
speaking
clap.
is in the
Applause.
hands of the people,
Well
and that's where it should be. But when you're talking about a federal ban, be honest with the American people.
I am
We
being
haven't
honest.
had 45 pro-life senators in over 100
do not
years, so
care.
no Republican president can ban abortions any more than a Democrat president could ban all those state laws. Don't make women feel like they have to decide on this issue when you know we don't have 60 Senate votes in the House.
70%
She's out
of the
here
American
spilling the
people
tea.
support
She's out there speaking
legislation
Wait a
freely.
to
second.
ban
70% of
abortion
the
after a
Senate
Did
baby
she
is capable
actually
of
say
experiencing
something
pain.
fairly
She
intelligent?
said something
Trying to
honest on
get-
accident.
70% of the Senate does not. You have to be honest with the
We have to
American
have a
people.
15-week
All right,
limit.
let's get Governor Bergman for one minute here.
Let's
So-
not. He doesn't
But
matter.
the
He
Supreme
doesn't
Court
matter.
Did overturn Roe v. Wade, and the result of that decision was that it went back to the states. So that's where it is right now.
Oh,
So
God.
as I understand it, you are not in favor
skylight.
of a federal
He
ban.
was surprised to be here.
What do you say about the states? There's about 5 of them,
We get to talk
including
about
New Jersey.
vaginas.
I think
Nobody told them.
a few others.
No, nobody told him this is
That
going to be
allow
televised. He's
abortion
very
up
excited.
until the time of birth. Though, if you were president,
I'm just happy
would
to be
you
here.
able to abide that?
I was told there was
First of
no
all, I'm a
reading
pro-life
material
governor
before
of
the
a
debate.
very pro-life state. And
I
this
was
is
told there
issue is,
would
of
be
course,
punch
very
and pie.
important, but I am on the record, and I stand behind that we should not have a federal.
Nobody
we
gives
should-
a shit.
We should not, and the reason why we shouldn't is very simple.
He's got a gun.
It's the 10th Amendment in the Constitution.
Oh,
In the
God.
Constitution,
Are you
which
not
the
allowed to
states
have a
created the federal
phone? Is-
government, not
are
the
you
other
allowed
way
to have a
around.
phone at the
It says
debate?
that there were certain
No, it's
duties
a
of the
pocket
federal
constitution.
government delegated to them by the states.
That's
The
such a
rest are
fucking
left to the
prop
states,
boy.
comma, or importantly, or to the people.
props,
We need
they
to get
said.
back to freedom and liberty
At
for
first
the people
glance,
in
I
this
thought that was
country.
Mitt
And we can't have
thought it was what?
Republicans who fight
thought he
for
was
50
Mitt
years
Romney
for this
out of the
great
corner of
cause
my eye.
to return it back
At
to
a
the
glance,
states.
yeah, I can see
And then
that.
the next
Discount
day they
Mitt
turn around and
Romney.
go,
Man,
no,
Mitt
the
looks
feds
bad.
should do that because the feds are stepping into people's lives. They're stepping into
Now,
people's
there's a
businesses.
problem with Mitt Romney and
Over
the
and over. If
Republicans.
we
He's
say that
actually
the feds
like
should be in on this one. Where do we
relatively,
stop?
like,
I say
not
that we follow
insane.
the Constitution,
Yeah.
and this is returned to the states. This is where it should
still
be.
Governor
Republican.
Burgum, you
He's
signed
not
a
even
6-week
MAGA.
ban. Time out. You signed a 6-week ban. Governor Burgum, you signed a 6-week ban. So you're saying federally, it's all going to go to the states.
Yes, and what is going to work in New
He
York
signed
will
a
never work
50
in North
ban
Dakota,
in
and
a
vice
state with
versa.
like
That's
10
why
people in it.
50 states.
Hutchinson,
That's right
right here.
50 states.
This is too important of an issue that I have to address. First
Oh,
of all,
yes.
the Supreme Court gave it back to the
Oh,
elected
yes.
representatives,
Talk
whether
about
it's
it.
the
Hutchinson,
states
yes,
or
tell
whether
us.
it's the United States Congress. So there is authority,
You
and
know,
that's
he looked
why
like he needs to be
President
given
Biden
a
is
clue in a
pushing for
mystery
a
movie
Democrat
or some
proposal,
shit, like
which is,
solving a puzzle.
in essence, abortion on demand through the term.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Did
they
you
have
see
a
that
extreme
Texas
position at a national
actually
level.
put in a
We-
legal
it's
precedent that
most likely
fetuses
going to
are
be
not
addressed
people?
in the states, but it's certainly fine for it to be addressed at the national level as well.
Oh, did you see his Israel pen?
Arkansas has the record of being the most pro-life state
his
in the
lapel?
nation. I signed
He's
30
got
an Israel pin on his
pro-life
lapel.
pieces of
it's the
legislation while
Israeli
I was
flag and the
governor.
American flag like
And
crossed.
every state can determine a different outcome here, and it is the most important issue
hear that, Zero?
for
You hear the whistle?
women and
You
for
hear the whistle,
the
Zero?
unborn
Oh,
child
is he hearing
and for
it? Is
our
it-
country that
It's a
we
really
live
nice
in.
on the
dog
floor.
It's going to be a continued
really
debate.
nice dog whistle.
Let's
Holding his
talk
ears.
about it in terms of
Yeah.
compassion, in terms of protecting the life, and also understanding
See, this
how
is
we
the
have
thing.
to enhance
Nothing what they're saying
abortion,
is new.
excuse
Right,
me,
no.
adoption
They're saying the
services, how
same
we have
thing
to
over
enhance
and over
maternal
again.
care.
Yes.
Those things we've done in
But I am saying
Arkansas
it.
What was
and are
it? Nikki
important
Haley
for our
said some
nation's future.
There are a
Slightly
lot
more
of issues that are
progressive
very
things.
important.
She'll
Senator
be
Hall,
punished.
just quoted-
She'll be punished for
Yeah,
that.
but that's
cannot
not
let
going to take
states
her anywhere.
Like California,
well.
They'll
New
teach her
York,
for
and
that.
Illinois have
Yeah,
she just quoted
abortions
fact.
on
That's all she did.
demand up until the day of birth. That is immoral.
That is
it is
not
unethical.
a
It
thing.
is wrong. We must have
Has
a
anybody
president
ever
of the
told these
United
people
States
that
who will
is not a
advocate and
thing?
fight for the minimum
Sir, you made that up.
15-week limit.
They did. They
I'm
literally made it
100%
up.
Pro-life conservative. I have a
Into the
100%
third
pro-life
trimester,
record.
you actually
I gotta tell you
have
though,
to.
we must
We're
fight
burning
for
the labor.
life.
Yeah, you
Our
have to be
Declaration
able
of Independence
to do
says
reasonable
our
effort
Creator gave
save
us
the baby if
inalienable
that
rights
is
that include life.
possible.
That is a list. That is an issue we
Issue.
must solve. We can't leave it to
I mean,
Illinois.
until
We
they're
can't
born,
leave
they're
it
not
to
American
Minnesota. We
citizens.
can't leave it to Illinois. We must solve that
Well,
issue.
no,
with
he's
a
sounding like there
15-week
are, so
limit
you can
at a
immediately
minimum.
start claiming
Right, I
benefit.
think we're all
No,
pro-life.
it's called
but
it's
what
called
I would love
birthright
is for someone to ask
citizenship.
Biden and
Not
Kamala Harris, are they for 38
Fetus
weeks? Are
right.
they
Not
for 39 weeks? Are they for
conception,
40 weeks? Because
Conception
that's what the media
citizenship.
needs to be asking.
All right, another issue is America.
This is
and
the
crime
Republican
crisis, the
debate.
homelessness
They're not
crisis.
asking Joe
American
Biden shit,
cities
which
are
you
in decline.
dumbass.
people are moving
everyone,
out,
they're going to talk about how they're going to handle the homeless.
There are problems accelerated. They did
Force them to
accelerate during the
Mexico?
pandemic and are
Am
still
I really
running.
informing you?
Murders
No,
in
I'm
Los
not.
Angeles,
I'm
New
misleading
York,
you.
Chicago, all up 30% between 2019 and 2022.
Our
Homelessness
our
is up
economy is
11%,
booming.
the largest jump in recorded history. Vice President Pence, a lot of this began in
All right,
the
who's
COVID
gonna
era.
take bets on whether or not they're gonna reduce support for the homeless.
is a result of those.
They're just
COVID
gonna. I think they're
lockdowns.
just gonna.
And is your
They're just gonna blame
administration
Biden the whole time.
blame?
They're not gonna
No,
do
they're
anything.
they're going to do the same thing that they've done was move them to San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago.
Oh, this is the police. This is the police topic.
Oh, fund the police.
At unprecedented levels. I mean, it's extraordinary to think about the violence that's claiming innocent lives literally every week in every major city.
In
this
Uvalde?
country. And yet Democrats and liberal
Wow, my dogs
prosecutors
can
in
hear
major
this whistle,
metropolitan
for sure.
areas continue to work out their fanciful
lucky my dog's passed
agendas,
out.
to do
Goes on the couch.
bail reform and go easy. What we need is
Bail
strong commitment to law enforcement.
That's the
We need
problem.
leadership in Washington, D.C. that'll marshal the resources of the states, marshal the resources of the American people. But let me also say it's about opportunity. I mean, a lot of people don't know that those Trump-Pence tax cuts that
He is
we
echoing
got
through
signed
this
into law
arena.
go away
I know.
at the end of 2025
They do
if we
not
don't
like
have a
you
Republican
anymore.
president and a Republican House and a Republican Senate.
You know, it's going to be good when
I'm
those
president
tax
of the
cuts
United
go
States, we're
away
actually gonna
because it's
cut
all for the
taxes
rich.
further. We're going to extend those tax cuts, and we're going to close the federal Department of Education, block
There's
grant
some-
all
Wow.
that funding
They're gonna
back
go
to
up
the states
significantly.
with a growing
Wow. I don't
economy and
care.
educational choice and law enforcement. We will bring our cities back.
Governor Christie, another issue. This
Always
weekend
attack on
here in
education.
Milwaukee,
You know why?
reports say there were 30
Just
shootings.
put them all in jail.
And a number of them, including kids.
That was his, we're gonna get the cops
Add
back
that to
on the
big
streets. We're
increase
gonna
in
fund
school
them.
shootings
So lock
around
them
the
up.
country.
Educate, you
Democrats
give somebody a
blame this
future.
crisis on easy access to guns. They also blame Republicans for blocking gun control legislation. What would President Christie?
That's an admission, is it not?
You know, I'm proud of the fact, Brett, that I'm the only person, along with Governor Hutchinson, up on this stage who's actually running United States Attorney's Office. I ran the 5th largest office in America in a state
one counts
where
down that
there
low.
is significant urban crime. And the problem is not going to be solved by more money.
you
The
close a
problem
bridge
is
for
that these
retaliation?
prosecutors in these
Saying.
localities in the states
At
are
a beach
refusing
party
to do
during
their job
shutdown.
Yeah,
and to
during
arrest
COVID.
violent criminals. So what President Christie would do is appoint an attorney
in a bathing
general
suit.
who would instruct each of the 93 U.S. attorneys that they are to take over the prosecution of violent crime in every one of those cities that are failing to do so. We have plenty of room in the federal prisons to lock up these violent
Ooh,
criminals
Christie's
and
response is
clean
pack
up
the
what's going
prisons.
on all across this country.
We want to
in these
pack the
individual
court. They
cities.
want to pack the prisons.
Secondly,
You heard
what
it here
we need
first.
to make sure that each and every one of these criminals
prisons are
understand
full.
is that the laws apply to everybody. And when Hunter Biden
That's why they're
fills out a
doing the
fake
bail reform, because they can't
application,
even
a false
house all the people that
application
you keep
for a,
locking up for
a
nothing.
gun permit, and then is facing a 10-year
Oh, he said Hunter Biden. That was on my bingo
minimum,
card.
which was mandated by legislation
smoke in a
sponsored
second.
You
by
have
his
everything on
father.
your bingo card, Tim.
And then you have a Justice
Listen, I'm
Department
gonna get
that
bingo
walks
first.
away from those charges. We're telling people that the law doesn't apply to everybody. In the Christie administration,
Tell it to
he would go to
Trump.
jail for 10 years.
What about a
tell
President
it to Trump.
Ramaswamy? What does a President Ramaswamy do about guns?
So the
Man,
reality
ain't
is we have a
nobody
crime wave in
elected
this
a
country, and
President
we know how to fix
Ramaswamy.
it. The question is, do we actually have the spine to do it? More cops in the streets who are on the streets able to do their jobs without looking over their shoulder for getting sued. And we also have a mental health epidemic
Oh,
in this
yeah, that's
country.
gonna be
There it
good.
is.
Just over the
Drink.
same period that we have closed mental health institutions,
pour
we have seen
myself
a
another
spike in violent
another
crime.
cup.
Do we have the spine to
Another
bring them
shot
back?
for
I think
me.
we should. As president, I will.
Guys,
but it's not
anybody-
just
anybody
drugging
want
up
a shot?
people in those psychiatric
Oh, I'll take one.
institutions with Zoloft and Seroquel.
I'm about to switch
It's
to
a
something a
deeper
bit
issue. I
harder.
think faith-based approaches can play a role here too.
Harder than what?
We're in the middle of a national identity crisis.
Than water. If you're
And I say
drinking
this
a-
as
You
a
hear this?
member of my generation. The
You hear
problem in
this?
our country right now,
You hear
the
this?
reason we have that
You
mental
hear this
health
brown
epidemic
man
is that people are so
in this
hungry
ugly
for
suit
purpose and
telling
meaning
me that
at a
America has an
time when
identity
family,
crisis.
faith,
Bruh.
patriotism, hard work have all
That tie is
disappeared.
an identity
What we really need is a total reset from the top, saying that this is what it means to be an American. Yes, we will stand
wanna
for the
point
rule of
out
law.
that they
Yes,
keep
we will
saying
close the
cops,
southern
cops,
border where
cops,
criminals are
more
coming in
cops.
every day.
Cops
And yes, we
want
will back
gun
law
reform.
enforcement because we remember who we
That's-
really
that's
are.
what all this is.
And that's also how we address that mental health epidemic in the next
Wow.
generation that is directly leading
this
to
dude
violent
is like
crime.
a fascist.
Governor
The American
DeSantis,
people.
really quickly. Governor DeSantis.
We don't
let me
have
see what
an
it was,
identity
Alex.
crisis, Vivek. We're not looking for a new national identity. The American people are the most faith-filled,
Yeah.
freedom-loving,
We're not
idealistic,
going for you,
hardworking
brown
people the world has
guy.
ever known. We just need government as good as our people.
Well, Mike, I think the
You
difference
know,
is you might
American
have, some
people.
others like you may have on the stage, it's Morning in America speech. It is not Morning in America. We live in a dark moment, and we have to confront
yeah,
the
he's a
fact
fascist,
that
all
we're
right.
in an internal sort of cold cultural civil war, and we have to
equating the
recognize
American
that in
people
order
with the
to actually
failed
win.
government in Washington, D.C. We just need
I
government
mean,
as good
it is
as our
somebody's
people
fault.
again.
So, I
Governor
can,
DeSantis,
so let me just
Governor
finish
DeSantis,
addressing
I
that
wanna weigh
slogan
in
because I don't
here.
know what that slogan
Brett,
means.
Mark,
We
I
need to
want you
shut
to
down
weigh
the
in, Governor
administrative
DeSantis.
state.
Crime-
That's actually how we translate it.
Crime has been on the rise in Florida, Governor DeSantis. How do you stop crime?
Well, actually, crime's at a 50-year low
Not
in
in-
Florida.
not in Miami.
We're happy
Not
with
in
that.
Miami.
Well, the statewide, it's a 50-year low. And so here's the thing.
What about Miami,
Statewide
though?
where nobody
These
lives.
hollowed out cities, this is a symptom of America's decline. And one of the
So the
biggest
cities are
reasons
hollowed out, is that
is
why
you
your
have
crime rate
George
is low?
Soros funding these
There's no one there
radical
except for
left-wing
Miami.
district
Soros.
attorneys. They get into
Yay.
office and they say
Oh,
they're
George
not going to
Soros on my bingo
prosecute
card.
crimes. They disagree with the inmates
Jesus.
start running
Took
the
him long
asylum.
enough.
There's one guy in this entire
He said
country
Opie
that's
picking
ever done
cherries
anything
again.
about that. Me. When we had
does
two
like
of these
Opie.
district attorneys in Florida elected with Soros funding who said they wouldn't do their job.
Oh, he fired them.
Removed them from their posts. They are
fired them.
gone.
Because he's a fascist.
And as president, we are going to go after all of these people because they are hurting the quality of life and they are victimizing
Dude, you're the
innocent
fucking
people
governor of
in
fucking
every
Florida.
corner of this
Shut
country,
up.
and it will stop when I
Florida,
get into
bro.
office.
Okay,
Florida.
one more here
fight with
before the
Disney
break,
going.
Governor Bergen.
Yeah.
Brett
Goofy
Martha,
put
just
you
thought it was
over the
interesting. You
fucking
asked a question
panhandle.
about
How'd
the
that
problems
feel?
we're having in big cities.
Spanked by a mouse.
Nobody ever asked the question of
Yeah.
what about the crime wave in small towns? Because in a small town, neighbors help neighbors. People
North Dakota
understand each
only
other.
has
If a
small
farmer
towns.
gets sick, everybody
Did you really
comes
say
together and
small
helps them
town
get the
after that
crop
song
off.
came out?
There's accountability, there's transparency. One thing that I think this country could use is somebody in the White House that understands small town values, because that's our road back to get this country on track again.
Yeah, that'll help
Try not to
Chicago.
small
Values, everybody.
Was former head of the DEA. I understand the
Y'all
drug
don't even
crisis
have
in
Asians.
America.
What the fuck
And
you gonna
right
do about
now,
crime?
whenever
What are
you
you talking
look
about?
at the challenges
You
in
don't
our
even have all
inner
the
cities,
pieces to the puzzle.
there's
Sushi-
three
sushi
simple
is
words
tuna
that
on
would be
rice.
helpful.
Right.
One, enforce the law when it comes to crime.
On assaulting.
Secondly, let's deal with the challenge of fentanyl. And it's both
Grass on
about
top.
stopping the fentanyl coming from Mexico, but it's also about education of our young people, making
so
sure that
serious
we
about
have
fentanyl that I'm gonna
the
put
tools
sanctions
that are
on China,
needed
where it's
for
coming from. Oh,
addiction
wait, no,
counseling. That's what we expanded in Arkansas as well.
I've done
Whenever
fentanyl
you look
before.
at the underlying challenge of America, though, no one likes to see an America with smash and grab in our inner cities. As president of the United
Inner
States,
cities.
that will
That's
stop.
a whistle.
It
Yeah, that's a
starts at
whistle.
the top with the
I
respect
thought it
for
was
our
on your
justice
fingerprint,
system
too.
that a former president who's under indictment has undermined by attacking judges, by attacking prosecutors, by attacking the
going after
system,
Trump.
and saying he's aggrieved.
Get him.
And so we have
Get
to
him.
have respect for our justice system and the rule of law,
Say
and
his
it
name.
starts at the top with
Say
the president of
his
the United
name.
States.
Thank you. Hold on.
No, it'll only give him more power.
So, speaking of that, right now you are looking live
That's my
at
bet.
Fulton
Christie will
County
say the
Jail,
name Trump.
where former
yeah.
President
No
Donald
one
Trump
said-
will be
there it is.
processed
Oh,
tomorrow.
no.
So
Oh,
next,
wait,
the candidates
just
will have
said
an
his
opportunity
name.
to talk about
like
the coming
Rumpelstiltskin.
trials of Donald Trump.
I love how it's
Can't
trial.
wait till they let
It's
Vivek
not trial.
know
There's just
that
much.
he can't pardon from state crimes in Georgia.
Okay,
Yeah,
I need.
that's
Okay,
true.
there's a lot of us in here. I need everybody in on your microphones. Everybody get in on those microphones because everyone's coming in a little soft. Get in there.
Okay.
How's that, Mikey?
There we go. There we go. Now the
How's this?
now the bar is actually
on, hold
moving
on.
when you talk.
Tim's
I can be
taking
right
my.
with everybody.
Hello, everybody.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
How are you?
Okay.
The
Ooh,
sultry
you're right in
sound
my
of my
ears.
voice.
What are you guys wearing right now?
Oh my god.
Johnny Walker.
Hey, I'm the one with the cam girl mic, all right?
You too.
Triton wins.
I think people need a reminder that Vivek needs a reminder that he can't pardon Georgia state crimes.
Yeah.
Oh, is he part of? Is he gonna get caught up in that RICO?
Vivek,
No,
no, but
he wants to pardon Trump. So to do that, and the governor of Georgia can't even do it by themselves. I think there's like a pardon committee or something like that that has to unanimously approve it.
Oh, that ain't happening.
And I heard a story about that. It was because of a governor Georgia elected in the 30s or 40s.
It was
who
a corruption
best friend.
case.
Yeah, he was best friends with like a KKK dragon, made him his advisor and then started selling pardons to prison. He would send his chauffeur to prison yards with pardon notes and sell them to people. So then they took the pardon power away from the governor so that there's it's a much more complicated process.
That is the most Illinois shit I've ever heard in my life. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go.
If you think that's Illinois, man, you haven't seen Louisiana yet.
Oh God.
Drop some history on us.
Oh, what was it? Ray Nagin? His connection to
that.
several businesses that were fronts for money laundering.
Yeah, Louisiana is the most corrupt state in the country.
Has been for
forever.
Since they were French.
Yeah. Louisiana is just a bastion of corruption.
Like, I mean, they are kind of French.
They are. Like, people think that like Jersey and like New York and all that are corrupt. No, Louisiana is fucking corrupt.
Yeah, Jersey ain't so bad anymore. I mean, you get up into like Hoboken in that area, yeah, you find the mob and stuff, but even that's calmed down quite a bit from the old days.
All right, so what do we think everyone's going to say about Trump?
I think everybody's going to try and say they're going to pardon him.
Is against him. So we know Chris Christie is against him and thinks that he should be in jail.
Yeah, Christie will be the only one that probably goes after him hard.
Everybody will be soft.
Yeah, either completely neutral or he's innocent. Stop witch hunting him.
Who is going to kiss his ass the most? Who's going to be the biggest Trump ass kisser?
Oh, that's a tough one because they all.
DeSantis has already been very ass kissy.
Vivek, like by far Vivek.
What was the question?
Who's going to kiss Trump's ass?
Oh.
Who's going to kiss Trump's ass so hard that his tongue gets caught in there?
Oh, that's dirty.
God, didn't have to go that
up
far.
In there.
Jeez, grouting, cleaning it out. like a fisherman's knife.
No, Mikey, no.
Rending the flesh to one side.
No, we're good. Thanks. Move on.
I think I agree with Sweet. I think it's going to be Vivek. I think that he's got like a hard on for Trump.
Come on, let me be your friend.
Because it's the same path to the presidency. You make a lot of money on a scam pharmacy deal where you bankrupt a bunch of people, but you make out yourself just fine. You make a lot of money, and then you move into politics, and you try to, do your thing.
Weasel your way on up. He does look like a little weasel, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a little trickster. Like
None of these people look clean.
Damn.
Okay.
All right, trading shit.
Okay.
I'm secretly very angry person.
Secretly.
I hide it. I bury it down.
He hides
it
so well.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
That Midwestern charm, they call it.
It bursts
All
forth.
right.
And
I think we're coming back, Mikey.
GOP primary debate, policy discussions. The Americans want to hear
Policy.
on.
What? There's supposed to be a policy discussion?
I'm a policy wonk.
Education. But we are going to take.
I haven't heard one policy.
And talk about the elephant not in the room.
Oh, they've used that line before.
Former President Trump has been indicted in
Are they
4
booing
different
Trump
states
or are they saying boo
on
earns?
91 counts. He will be processed tomorrow in Georgia at the Fulton County Jail for charges relating to the 2020 election loss.
Bad.
You all signed a pledge to support the eventual Republican nominee. If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice?
All right, this
Please
is going
raise
to
your
be the
hand
answer
if
to our
you would.
question.
Yeah, Vivek is the first one.
First one. Oh, the ones on the end didn't raise their hands.
Hold on. So just to be clear,
Christie's like,
Governor Christie, you were kind of late to the game there, but you raised your hand?
No, I'm doing this. Look, I'm doing this.
And
not
I know
this.
you didn't.
Whoa. No.
Hard.
What's the look? Here's the
Dumbo
bottom
almost
line.
asked the question again.
Someone's got to stop normalizing this conduct. Okay?
Yeah.
There it is.
Speak truth to power.
Now, whether or not you believe that the criminal charges are right or wrong. The conduct is beneath the office of President of the United States.
There's some Christie fans in that crowd.
Christie's killing tonight, man.
Christie is the anti-Trump
This is the
candidate.
great thing about this country.
He's a
Booing
fat
is
man I can
allowed,
believe in.
but it doesn't change the truth. It doesn't change the truth.
There it is. They're turning on him.
I'd like
That's
to
some good
get
heel
in and
work.
respond. Let's just speak the truth, okay? President Trump, I believe, was the best president of the 21st century.
Oh my God.
And Chris Christie,
Someone throw this guy
honest
off
to
the
God,
stage.
Your claim
We
that
do
Donald
not care.
Trump is motivated
Stop
by
stealing his
vengeance and
ties.
grievance would be a lot more credible if your entire campaign were not based on vengeance and grievance against one man. And if people at home want to see a bunch of people blindly bashing Donald Trump without an iota
I
of
wonder if
vision for
Vivek
this
would,
country,
do the
they could
same
just change the
thing
channel
if
to
Trump
MSNBC
starts
right now.
insulting Dwight.
But I'm not running for president of MSNBC.
Wait till he finds out
I
he
am
thinks
running for
India's a
president of the
shithole
United
country.
States. We're skating on thin ice, and we cannot set a precedent where the party in power uses police force to indict its political opponents. It is wrong. We have to end the weaponization of justice in this country.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
No, I'm sorry. 30 seconds, Governor
You
Christie.
make me laugh because you sit here in an answer right.
Wow. He's getting some go away heat now.
You sit here in an answer.
Go ahead,
All
Governor
pub is
Christie.
good pub.
Governor Christie.
Hold on.
It's the decorum
So
debate.
listen, the more time we spend
You
doing
remember
this, the
when
less
debate
time
audiences
they can
were
talk about
fucking
issues you want
respectful?
to talk about.
No, they wanted
So
this.
let's just get
They
through
wanted
this section.
WWE.
No, this
Governor
is
Christie.
You
is
sit here talking about how you want to stand up for the rule of law.
Yes.
And
I
law
want
and
to
order.
ask
And
Vivek
the
why
fact
he's a
is
9/11
that it
truther.
can't be selective. In your
No
book,
way.
you had much different things to
Yeah,
say about
he
Donald
said it
Trump
was
than
an
you're
inside
saying here
job.
tonight.
That's not
And
true.
no, it is very true.
He wants to be
That's not
president.
It's very true. I read it,
Because
and
there's
I
a
know.
difference
Look,
between
I
bad
know.
behavior and illegal
By the way,
behavior, Chris, and you as a
by the way,
prosecutor should know better.
You know what? I know a lot
There's
better.
a difference between
I
bad
know,
behavior. And
I know
I
a lot
honestly
better than
believe
you
Chris
do.
Christie
You've
is the most
never done it
educated
like you've never
person
done
on that
anything to try to advance
really
the
am.
interests of this government except to put yourself forward as a candidate tonight. And here's the thing. We stood up for law
shit.
and order. I did it as U.S. Attorney. I did it as governor. And I am not going to bow to anyone when we have a president of the United States who disrespects the Constitution. He said,
Get your MSNBC contributor.
he said,
hold on.
This is going down one fight.
We have to call out the
Damn.
Martha, it's important to say that the president said, Donald
doing
Trump
exactly
said,
what he
it's
wants to
okay
do.
to suspend the Constitution. Now, the oath you take is to preserve, protect, and defend, not suspend. I will always stand up for our Constitution, regardless of the political pressure.
We have another question for you. We're going to get everyone in on
Couple of
this issue,
claps.
but I have another question. I have another question.
critical.
Hold on, you will. All right, so President Trump's
You
former
interrupted
vice
him, now
president
talk,
is on this
dumb butt.
stage tonight.
Yeah.
He has faced hecklers on the campaign
yes.
trail
Weird that Chris Christie
over his
is the
actions
most
on January the
stable
6th.
on the-
On that day, the vice president moved forward with the certification of the election. So do you believe
In love after
that
loss.
Mike Pence did the right thing, Senator Scott? Do you believe he did the right thing?
What?
Absolutely.
They're asking
He
about
did
January
What?
6th?
Number one.
Wow.
No.
They should
Yeah.
ask
We should
Pence.
be-
How
we
do
should
you
be
feel about the
asking
president
ourselves
trying
a
to kill
bigger
you?
question
That's the
about
question.
weaponization
Good question.
of the Department
That's
of
the
Justice.
question,
When I'm
Tim.
president, the first
They'll
thing I'll
never
do
ask that
is fire
question.
Merrick
That's-
Garland. Second thing I'll do,
Fire
fire
the
Christopher
Attorney
Wray,
General.
because we need Lady Justice to wear a blindfold. Without that, no one has confidence in our justice system.
What is he fucking talking
17%
about?
of Republicans
How-
have
How
confidence
many
in
investigations
our
were there into
Department
Hillary?
of Justice. Here's
1,000
why.
million
We
trillion.
keep seeing
She did
not
like
only
11
the
hearings
weaponization
or
of the
something,
Department
right?
of Justice against political
yeah, she did
opponents,
11 hours
but
straight.
also
Day.
against parents
Blind
who show
justice.
up at school board meetings.
Yeah.
They're called, under this DOJ, they're called domestic terrorists.
You
Fire
threatened
Yeah.
to hurt
Okay.
the
Shut
teachers.
down the FBI.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Rogers,
Threatened to
have the
hurt
courage
the
to get it
teachers.
right.
That makes you a terrorist.
Let me finish my comments.
Yes.
Thank you.
threatened
Somebody
not
said
only
it. They're domestic
In addition to
terrorists.
that, we see the SWAT team show up at
Southern
pro-life
Poverty Law
activist
Center
homes
said
with
that the
guns drawn
Moms for
because
Liberty-
this
Oh, we covered
DOJ
that
uses
story.
their power, uses
Yeah.
their
And
authority,
it's a
not
load
just
of
against
horseshit.
political opponents, but against conservatives
They were
and
armed, but
conservative
they were not
causes.
drawn
It is
at them. They
time
came up and
for a
talked to them.
change in America, and I will bring that change to the greatest nation on God's green earth.
We have an important
But Governor
question still to
DeSantis, do you
answer.
believe that
Exactly,
Mike
Alex,
Pence
you
did the
nailed
right
it,
thing
too.
on January 6th?
So here's what we
Thank
need to
you,
do.
everybody, for
we
hanging
need
out. Let me
to
mute them for a
end the
second. Oh.
weaponization of these federal agencies.
But that's
And
not-
I will
I'm going to pause it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and watching with us. We haven't really been interacting with the chat too much, but we appreciate you guys taking time out of your evening and spending the night with us. So welcome. Hit
You guys are
follow,
awesome.
hit buttons and shit.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Like the smash button.
Like that smash button.
Like that smash button.
We should put that on a shirt.
Not the question.
Here- I know, but here's the
Like
thing.
that smash
This
button.
election is not about
gonna write that.
January 6th
like a little
of
button,
2021.
and then
It's
someone's
about
just like-
January 20th of 2025 when the next president is going to take office. I know what the Democrats would like to do. They want to talk about all these other issues, but we've got to focus on your future. We've got to focus on reversing the decline of our
ignore the
country.
problem.
I learned in the military, I was assigned with U.S. Navy SEALs in Iraq, that you focus on the mission
Fact check that.
above all else.
I'm on
You
it.
can't
No,
get
it's true.
distracted. So Republicans, we've got to look
Fact check it
forward,
anyway.
and we've got to make sure that we're
There's gotta be
bringing the
something.
message that
also
can
in charge
win in
of torture.
November 2024.
There it is. I was going to say, I know there's something in there.
Mission of the President
What
of
do
the
you
United
think,
Vice
States
President?
is to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I think the American people deserve to know whether everyone on this stage agrees that I kept my oath to the Constitution that day. There's no more
There's the
important
question.
duty. So answer the
Here's
question.
thing. I've answered this before.
So, yes.
Why are we? Mike did his duty. I got no beef with him. But here's the thing:
I
is
got
this
no
what we're
beef
going to be
with him.
focusing
I got no
on
I'm relieved.
going
We-
forward? The rehashing of this. I'll tell you,
Governor
the
DeSantis,
Democrats would love that,
we
and they will
spent-
win if we
Governor
let him.
DeSantis-
Oh, we love the last segment more than you would believe.
No, the whole thing was
We're
actually.
going to run him ragged around this country, and we're going to hold him
People have no
accountable.
aim.
Let me just say, Governor DeSantis, we spent an hour talking about policy. Former President
No, you
Trump is
didn't.
beating you by 30, 40 points in many polls.
Oh, shit.
So it is a factor in the GOP primary. Governor Hutchinson, you did not raise your hand.
I did not raise my hand because there's an important issue we as a party have to face. And over a year ago, I said that Donald
right.
Trump was
I'm
morally
Usher Hutchinson.
disqualified
Here's
from
my
being
voice.
president
I keep
again
forgetting what
as a
this guy's
result of
name
what
is.
happened on January 6th.
Because he doesn't
More
matter.
People are understanding the importance of that,
Nobody
including
cares.
conservative
They're
legal
booing.
scholars who
Yeah.
says he may
This
be
is a presidential
disqualified under the
debate.
14th Amendment
Oh,
from being
there we
president
go.
again as a result of the insurrection. This is something
Ooh, we
that
called
could
it insurrection.
disqualify him under our rules and under the
Something.
Constitution. And so, obviously,
Yeah,
I'm not
this
going to
guy.
support somebody who's been convicted of a serious felony.
Wait, what's his
or
name again?
who
I
has his
need
name
to-
is
Asma-
under our Constitution,
I need the
and that's
title.
consistent with
Asma
RNC
Hutchinson.
rules. And I hope everybody would agree with me.
Yeah,
more time.
we're going to move on. No, we're going to.
Martha, can I answer the question?
Can I get in on this?
Okay, I'd
Can
like to
I
answer.
say asthma one more time?
Hang in
Vice
there.
President Pence.
All right, I'd like to answer
Come
the
on,
question
Chris
you
Christie.
asked and not give a pre-canned speech. Mike Pence stood for the Constitution, and he deserves not grudging credit. He deserves our thanks as Americans for putting his oath of office.
Uh-oh, new
and the
buzz.
He gave
Constitution
that
of
look
the
like,
United
"Thanks,
States
buddy."
Before
Like, ooh,
personal,
I'm all
political,
aflutter.
and unfair pressure. And the argument
that
that we
eyebrow.
need to
Yeah, he
have
right.
in this party
Oh,
before
yeah.
we can move
He's like,
on
"Yeah,
to the
motherfucker."
issues that Ron talked about
fat boy
is
with
we
me.
have to
See this?
dispense
Me?
with the
know
person
I
like
who
this.
said that we need to suspend the Constitution to put forward his political career. Mike Pence said no, and he deserves credit for it.
Okay.
And Trump tried to kill him for it.
Yeah, the next one will be Mike Pence. How do you feel about Trump wanting to kill you?
Did the right thing that day or not?
I do think that Vice President Pence did the right thing, and I do think that we
He
need to
tried to
give him
remove
credit
Mike
for that. But
Pence.
what I will also tell you is,
From
look,
his
I
body.
mean, when it comes
From his
to whether
corporeal
President
form.
Trump should
His
serve or not, I
spirit.
trust the American
this-
people. Let them vote.
from
Let them
this plane
decide.
of existence
But what they
onto
will
the
tell you
astral
is
plane.
that it is time for a
gonna
new
be hanging out
with him
generation
at
of
-10 hit
conservative
points.
leader. We have to look at the fact that 3/4 of Americans don't want a rematch between Trump and Biden. And we
Oh,
have to
God, we
face the
don't.
fact that
Please,
Trump
God,
is the
no.
most disliked politician in America. We can't win a general election that way.
Governor Burgum?
Hard truth.
Oh no, they're clapping.
Governor Burgum?
It's Governor Burgum opportunity.
Happy to answer the
Honey,
question.
you
Mike
were
Pence
the
did the right
UN
thing on January
ambassador and
6th.
you couldn't
But I
do
want to say,
that.
you started off the top of this hour saying we're going to talk about China,
You literally
Ukraine,
had to
education.
sit. We are.
China is the number one threat to our country, and every minute that these 8 candidates
Doug's
spend
not
talking
answering
about
the
the past
question.
instead about the future is time
Dodging.
that is just you know who loves it? Biden loves it, but China loves it when we're talking about the past.
Okay, as promised, we were going to spend a few questions on it, let people say what they wanted to say, and now, indeed, we are moving on to the subject
The
of...
U.S. has committed nearly 77.
Can I speak on this issue? I was
You
kind of
did
involved.
answer on this.
You did
You did
say
answer.
something. I thought we thought you were done, but you
Well, Mike, why don't you say this? Join me in making a commitment that on day one you would pardon Donald Trump. I'm the only candidate on the stage
Wow.
who had the courage to actually say it. That is how we move our nation forward.
I don't know
and
why
take
the
the nation
president
forward. That's
Donald
exactly
Trump
right.
will be convicted of these crimes.
You should be able to make a commitment. The same justice system that was this
Vivek, here's
corrupt.
the difference between you and me.
Yeah, you're not a politician. That's the
I've
difference. You can
actually,
answer a question.
I've actually given pardons when I was governor of the state of Indiana. It usually follows a
I knew he
finding
was
of
from
guilt
Indiana.
and contrition by the individual that's been convicted. So, look, if I'm president of the United States, we'll give fair consideration to any pardon request. But if I may, you know, it's not about looking back at January 2021.
We do not care.
It's about January 20th, 2017.
We do not care.
I put my left hand on Ronald Reagan's Bible. I raised my
We
right
do
hand.
not care.
And I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And it ended with a prayer, so help me God. It was a promise that I made to the American people, but I also made it to my Heavenly Father.
Say, oh, you think you buy
Every
that?
day
You
for
think
4
you're
years, I
forgave?
sought to keep that oath.
spoke
Everyone
to
on
Jesus.
this stage needs to make it clear whether or not they'll do the same if they earn
Oh,
this job and
Lord,
the confidence of the American
Preach
people.
to me.
Now, look, I've made it clear. I had hoped that the issues
Pretty soon we're gonna become this
surrounding
country.
the 2020 election
only
and the
thing that would
controversies
make
around
this
January
speech
6th
better
had
right
not
now
come
would
to
be
this,
the
had not come to
background
criminal
our God is
proceedings.
an awesome God.
I'd rather they had been
God
resolved by the American
is an
people
awesome
and the
God
American
you
people alone. But no one's above
What
the
he
law.
needs is he needs an
And
American
President Trump
flag,
is entitled
an
to the
eagle,
presumption of innocence
and
that every
Jesus handing
American
down
is
the
entitled to,
Constitution.
and we will make sure and
Yeah.
extend that to him.
Where
But the
at
American
least
people
I know
deserve to
I'm free.
that the president
To get
asked
shot
me
in school.
in his request that I reject
While-
or return
while
votes
19
unilaterally,
people who get
power
paid
that no vice president in
$70,000 a
American
year,
history had ever
fully strapped up with
exercised or
guns,
taken.
listen.
He asked me to put him over the Constitution.
Oh, Mikey, it was a much
And,
higher number
I
than that.
chose
It was
the Constitution,
400 people.
And I always will. I had no
Vice
right to
President Pence.
overturn the election, and Kamala Harris
Wait,
will have no
400 what?
right to overturn the
At
election when
Uvalde,
we beat them
there
in
were 400
2024.
law
Thank you, Vice
enforcement
President
officers there
Pence.
from every level of law enforcement.
Now we are moving on to other issues.
But when I say defund the cops,
The
so
US
like
has
give them
committed
more
nearly
money.
$77 billion
Then they would have went in.
FBI agents there.
The
They would've went in
administration
if
is
they had
now asking
money.
Congress for $24 billion more.
Then I'll just fucking hire the Wagner
Regardless
group for my fucking
of
neighborhood.
that, the specifics of that plan. Is there anyone on stage who would
I hear
not
their
support
prices just
the
seriously
increase of
dropped,
war
you know what I'm
funding
saying?
to Ukraine?
Well, I hear they're looking for new
Would not
leadership.
support it. Europe needs to step up. I mean, I would have Europe step up and do their job.
Put your
Mr.
hand down,
Ramaswamy.
nerd.
But you're saying you would not too, Governor DeSantis?
I will have Europe pull their weight.
But you
Right
would-
now, they're not
you
doing
would
it,
not
and
support
I think
more
we need
funding?
to
Like a
do.
no to me.
And I think our support should be contingent on them doing it. And I would have support in China to be able to take China and do what we need to
Oh,
do
he
with
doesn't
China.
like it. He's
Mr.
being
Ramaswamy,
goaded.
you
Look
would
at him.
not
He's
support
mad.
an increase of
He's
funding
hot.
to Ukraine.
I would not. And I
Punch
think
him.
that this is disastrous. That we are protecting
Why are they
against an
cheering
invasion
for him?
across somebody else's border
Yeah,
when
let
we
the
should use
Ukrainians
those same
die.
military
Don't
resources
like them.
to prevent across the invasion of our own southern border here in the United States of America. We are driving Russia further into China's hands. The Russia-China alliance is the single greatest threat we face. And I find it offensive that we have professional politicians on the stage that will make a pilgrimage to Kyiv, to their Pope, Zelensky, without doing the same thing for people in
Wow,
Maui,
this guy
or the
is
south side of Chicago,
Johnny,
or
man.
Kensington. I think that we have to put the
Freaking
interests
cool.
of Americans first.
He was referring
Secure our own border instead of somebody else's. And the reality is, this is also how we project strength by
Mikey,
making America
this
strong.
speech is AI
We
generated.
heard the names. Governor Christie first.
All right.
Like,
See,
I could do better.
Ukraine.
I can do
I
better.
wanted to see
I can do better
for
on Chat
myself
GPT.
what
I can
Vladimir
tell
Putin's army was doing to the free Ukrainian people. And let me tell you, I want you all to look around this arena tonight and imagine that every one of these seats was filled. And if every one of them was filled, there would still be 2,500 more children outside to make over 20,000 who have been abducted, stolen, ripped from their mothers and fathers, and brought back to Russia to be programmed to fight their own families. They have gouged out people's eyes, cut off their ears, and shot people in the
Save
back of
money.
the head, men, and then gone into those homes and raped the
Hey,
daughters
TOS,
and
bitch.
the wives.
Man, he's using a lot of hard R's there.
Fucking
And
dickhead.
This is the
yelling at him.
Vladimir Putin. This is the Vladimir Putin
I'm sure he'll react to that.
Donald Trump called brilliant and a genius.
Right.
If we don't stand up against this type
brilliant,
of
stable genius like him.
autocratic killing in the
are marching
world,
to
we
nuclear
will be next.
Everybody turn against him.
Hang on. Hit the brakes.
I have a question.
You were
We like
mentioned.
child
We'll come
abduction.
back.
Vice President Pence was mentioned. You get 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, let me be clear. Anybody that thinks that we can't solve the problems here in the United States and be the leader of the free world has a pretty small view of the greatest nation on earth.
That is incorrect.
We can do both, Vivek. We've done both.
Wow,
We've
Vivek
been the
walked
leader
right
of the free
into that
world and the
one.
arsenal of
Dumbass.
democracy for years. The Reagan Doctrine
Rookie.
years ago made it clear. We said, if you're willing to fight the communists on your soil, we'll give you the means to
least some
fight
of
them
these
there
people
so
have
our
had
troops don't have to fight them. Vivek, if we do the giveaway that you want to give to Putin to give him his land, it's not going to be too long before he rolls across a NATO border. And frankly, our men and women of our
Look at
armed
him. He's
forces are
shaking
gonna
his
have
head
to
like,
go
no,
and fight
Putin would
him.
never
I
do
want
that.
the
Do that.
Ukrainians fight and drive
I have a
Putin and the
newsflash.
Russians back out into Russia.
I want to just
So our
briefly
troops
address
aren't gonna have
Pence.
to make that
Vice
fight.
President Pence. I have a newsflash. The
I'll be
USSR
back.
does not exist anymore. It fell back in 1990.
Did I say
the real
USSR?
threat? You talked about the communists, and the real communists that we have to address
Do you
right
not
now
have
is
any
the.
idea what
I let
Vladimir Putin's aims
you
are?
already spoke. Now I actually have something to
Vladimir
say.
30
Putin has
seconds.
been saying he wants to reestablish the old Soviet sphere.
You've made
of
your
the
case,
Union.
Say
Vice
those
President.
things.
Now, if you think, I'm sorry if I insulted him by calling him a communist. He is a dictator and a murderer, and the United States of America.
Strong
needs to
words from
stand
Pence.
against
Pence
authoritarianism.
scoring points early.
Respond.
On the
The
board.
real threat we face today is communist China. And we are driving Russia further into China's arms.
Nah,
the
bro.
Russia-China
Nah.
military alliance is the single greatest threat we face. Nobody in either political party's talking about it. And I am the only non-Jew
Like, are you really
this
serious
is
right now,
keep us
man?
out of war.
Mr. Vice President, we can't hear.
Dude, you're digging a
Mr. Vice
hole.
President,
Just back out. Leave it
Put
alone.
the shovel down,
Mr. Vice
dumbass.
President.
This is the worst debate I've ever seen.
And then somehow,
Mr. Vice
China
President.
will
Pence
not
and
think
Christie
about
looking like the
taking
smartest,
Taiwan.
best people
we
ever.
achieve peace
I'm just
through
sad.
strength.
Mr. Vice
and
President.
America needs to stand for freedom.
Okay, here we go.
I think we need
Vivek
to
just got
establish
blown
the
out of the
rules.
water.
When we hear
Yeah, I
this
did.
bell,
Yes.
that means your time's done.
We're done.
That is why they
Mr.
don't.
President, we appreciate your aggressiveness here.
They don't give a fuck.
30 seconds is 30
No.
seconds. Mr.
Vivek
Ramaswamy,
is
you
why
were
they don't
mentioned.
like
You get 30 seconds.
younger people
The
running for
reality
office.
is,
Yeah, they're
today,
saying dumb
today,
shit.
Ukraine is not a priority for the United
He's
States
getting
of
bowed now.
America.
Earned
And I
on
think that
him.
the same people who took us into the Iraq War, the same people who took us into the Vietnam
same
War,
people,
you cannot
stupid.
end it. You cannot start another no-win war. And I do not want
not
to
the
get to the
same
point where we're
people which
sending our
are not in
military
history
resources
knowing it.
abroad when we could be better using
The
them here at
Republicans that
home
started
to
pulling
protect
This
our
is
own
the
borders,
problem
protect
when
the
you
homeland.
take
All right.
That will be my
real
top priority for
history
I
diplomacy.
think we gave you
Protect
more
this
than the 30
homeland.
seconds in the rebut. So I do want to get to some other people.
Look,
because
I know
everybody-
you're-
You take
this-
over
we
your
respect everybody's time
education
here. So, Governor Haley,
I know
you did not
you're,
raise your hand.
you're the son of
meaning that
immigrants and you want to
would
close the
support
door behind you,
more
but goddamn,
funding
bro,
for the
you're very
Ukraine
obvious
war.
about it.
You have
Yeah,
said
damn.
of Governor DeSantis that you didn't appreciate it when he initially called it a territorial dispute. Why? First of all, the American president needs to have moral clarity. They need to know the difference between right and wrong. They need to know the difference between good and evil. When you look at the situation with Russia and Ukraine, here you have
We do
a
not care.
pro-American country that was invaded by a thug. So when you want to talk about what has been
she
given
called him
to
the N-word.
Ukraine, less than 3.5% of our defense budget has been given to Ukraine. If you look at the percentages per GDP,
You know, that would be
11
that would be
of
a
the
fun
European
edit if we
countries have
just
given more than the U.S.
censor
But
it.
what's really important is go back to when China and Russia
Oh,
held
dude, that'd be
hands,
fun.
shook
Yeah,
hands
censored.
before the
Yeah.
Olympics and named themselves unlimited partners. A win for Russia is a win for China. We have to know that. Ukraine is the first line of defense for us. And the problem that Vivek doesn't understand is he wants to hand Ukraine to
doesn't
Russia. He
understand.
wants to let China eat Taiwan.
just
he
the
wants to go and
Rhineland.
stop funding Israel. You don't do that to
Sudetenland.
friends. What you do instead is you have the backs of
Oh,
your friends.
Sudetenland.
Come on,
Ukraine is a
Vivek,
front
say
line
fake
of
news.
defense.
Just fucking say it,
Putin
bro.
has said, if
Oh, do it.
Russia, once
Have a
Russia
Trump
takes
t-shirt on
Ukraine,
underneath that.
Poland and
Rip
the
it out.
Baltics are next. That's a world war. We're trying to prevent war.
Say
Look at
something
what Putin did today. He
misogynistic,
killed
okay?
Prigozhin.
She's
When
the
I was
only
at the
woman
UN,
on the
the
stage
Russian
who can do
ambassador
it.
suddenly died.
I don't see a
This
stove on
guy
the
is a
stage.
murderer, and you are choosing a murderer over
It must
Where's
be
her
that time
broom?
of the month.
Oh yeah. She's yelling. She's clearly
She's
flushed
getting-
because she's on
She's
her
getting
period.
emotion.
You know, Nikki, I wish you well in your future career
He's
on the boards
done.
of Lockheed and Raytheon.
You know, I'm not on
but the
boards
fact of the
Lockheed
matter,
and Raytheon, and you know, you
Boeing
went
came
put
off of it,
down
but you've been pushing
everybody
this
on
lie.
stage,
You've been pushing
but
this
you know
lie
what?
all week,
You want
Nikki.
to go and defund Israel? You want
Okay,
to
let me
give
address
Taiwan
that.
to China?
I'm glad you brought that
want to
up.
go and give
I'm gonna
Ukraine
Oh,
address
so
that.
that's his
Honey,
plan.
you're
He's gonna
lucky I
make himself
called
the
you
center.
Nikki.
That's his plan. He wants to make himself the center of attention and like spar with everybody. But he's not winning any of the individual fights.
And it
Nope.
shows.
And you know what? The foreign policy experience.
Yeah, you're getting
Man,
slapped up,
dumb
bro.
again.
This is like Super Smash Bros.
Address that. So
He keeps floating back to the platform, but he's at like 130%.
will be stronger than by the end of my first term.
What was
But
that?
It's not a client relationship.
Huh?
It is a friendship. And you know what friends do? Friends help each other stand on their own 2 feet. So I will lead Abraham Accords 2.0. I will partner with Israel to make sure Iran never is nuclear armed. But you know what? I love
You know,
about
Fucking
Obama
luck,
tried.
buddy.
You know, Obama tried that, and then you guys got so.
You know what I love
Yeah.
about it? I love their border policies. I love their tough on crime policies. I love that they have a national identity
Is he talking
and
about
an
Israel?
Iron Dome to
Yeah.
protect their homeland.
Oh,
and so
boy.
yes, I want to
Wow.
learn from
Yeah,
the
it's not
friends
gonna
that
go
we're
well.
supporting.
Wow.
And what
Ah.
puzzles
You wanna
me
cut the-
is
uh,
they
uh,
don't
Jeez.
apply those to protect
Jeez.
our
Oh,
homeland.
Israel
That is
needs
the answer.
America.
He's
America
a-
needs
he's a
Israel.
fascist.
Governor DeSantis,
God,
Governor
guys.
DeSantis, you were mentioned in
I
the
thought we were
territorial
talking about how
dispute.
Mexico was not our problem, but you
No,
guys will
it's not a
fucking bend
territorial
Get
dispute
fucking
either.
back on
United
topic.
States.
I love
Your
these
first
people.
obligation is to defend our country and its people. And that means you're sending all this money, but you're not
Fuck
doing what
everybody
we
else.
need
That's
to do
exactly
to
what he just
secure our
said.
own border. We have
Yes,
tens of thousands of people
isolationism has worked for
being
America
killed
before.
because, well, we're not handling both. And so I am going to declare
They don't
a
have
national
oil, we don't
emergency.
care.
I'm not going to send troops to Ukraine, but I am going to send them to our southern border. When these drug pushers
Yes,
are bringing
fascism.
fentanyl across the border,
Tim, take a
that's
shot.
going to be the last thing they do. We're going to use force.
No, I
and we're
need
gonna
Tim
leave them
first.
I wonder
stone
why
cold.
We're actually going to move on to
Tim
China. We're
alive.
going to talk about China.
Okay.
Governor Berger,
I like
China
Tim
has
too
the
much.
biggest navy in the world,
He
the biggest
literally
army
has
in
a
the
set of
world.
his
Now
own
they have
SA
warships off the coast of Alaska. They are threatening Taiwan.
China
In
does
coming
not
years,
have the
China will
biggest
have
military
1,500
fleet in the
nuclear warheads, it's believed. The U.S. just arrested 2 sailors accused of spying for China within our military. So the question
What?
is, how would you deter China as a president, Berger?
Well, this is the #1 issue we're facing, and of course,
Small
we haven't
town
been talking
America.
about it, and we
Everything
act
is
like they're
small
letting Russia
town.
win in
Everything
Ukraine,
is #1 issue.
It's like a gimme as opposed to a gift to China. Russia has become China's gas station. But how would we do it? The Biden administration is a complete
Invade
fail.
Russia.
China imports
Bomb
10
the
million
oil.
barrels of oil a day, more than any other
Blow it up.
country in the world. They do not even have all the food they need to feed everybody in that country, so they don't have energy security or food
How you know?
security. But the Biden administration sends Blinken,
You go over
Yellen,
to Russia?
over there.
He been there.
They're
In
over
China?
there trying- they don't
Travel
even bring
back and
up
forth?
energy because they're too busy trying
can
to
see
kill
them
the
from
US
North
energy
Dakota.
here.
Oh,
and
that's
what we
right.
need to do is not meetings, not press releases, because something that would send a lot
Our
more
goofy
than a
ass.
press release is actually Harpoon missiles. We need anti-ship missiles on Taiwan.
Two
The way that
economists
you
just
have
tweeted,
a war never start,
Trump
which is the goal.
Trump is the winner
way
of
you
this
have
debate.
peace through
Right.
strength
Yeah,
is
for
that you
sure.
actually have strength. You
Work
actually
for
have
the
deterrence.
CCP, not the
And
Chinese
what we
people.
have
That
in-
was
in what we
before
got
the
going on
debate
in
Trump
Ukraine
won.
is an example of when deterrence fail. What is
'Cause
an
he
example
didn't
there
show
of
up for this
Biden's
one.
disastrous
hanging
withdrawal
out
from
with his boy
Afghanistan,
Tuck Tuck.
the fact that he greenlighted Putin moving into Ukraine,
he's also
and then now
getting
they see
ready to turn
weakness, and when they
himself
see
in.
weakness, they make a move.
Yep.
And we have to make
Gotta do
strong
that from the
Probably
Airbnb.
getting his
both in
hair
Ukraine, and we
dyed
can
and
solve the
his
southern border.
fake
Absolutely,
pants
we can do
green
that.
on, just make
Because
sure
You
guess
really
what?
think he
There's
is?
only 19,855
Getting ready to turn
authorized
himself
people
into
for the
this.
Border Patrol.
He's
But
got
they're
to.
not
Oh, yeah,
all
he's doing
staffed
that
because
tomorrow.
The Biden
By-
administration
by
doesn't enforce
Friday.
law enforcement. But
By
Biden
Friday he has
administration
to.
wanted to put
Oh, he will.
87,000
Or he
people
will
in the
have
IRS
to be
as
arrested.
opposed to
Run-
giving the money in
Vivek
this for what
Run
we need our
dives
own Border
tonight, but
Patrol.
he will kamikaze DeSantis in the process and get a job right.
That same question.
And I'd speak about China.
Let's fire
like Pearl Harbor out there.
87,000 IRS agents and hire
Beautiful
double
murder
the
and
number of
chaos.
Border Patrol agents. I just left Yuma, Arizona about 2 weeks ago.
You can
The
quadruple the number of
most
Border
pressing
Patrol
need of the
agents. It's
American
not going to
people from a
fucking
national
matter.
security
You're not
standpoint
fixing the problem.
Is our southern
My
border.
my
It
favorite
has led
part
to the
about
death
all
of
this is only 30% of the illegal
70,000 Americans
immigrants
because of
come from the
fentanyl.
southern border.
Plus 6 million
You know,
illegal
most illegal
crossings
immigrants
since President
are
Biden has
white.
taken office.
Yeah,
And
but they don't care about the
200
white ones.
people
You know why?
on our
'Cause they're
national
white.
security
They
watch
blend
list
in.
have been caught at our border. How
Any one of
many
you could be an
have
illegal.
not been caught at our southern border.
It's
Which
definitely
one
the
is it?
Canadians. Definitely the Canadians.
It's definitely Mark.
It's definitely Ollie.
For
Ollie
$5
is
billion
pretending to
more,
be a citizen.
We could have the military-grade technology
that's
to
what I'm doing,
surveil
all
our
right.
southern border to stop the flow of
coming in and they
fentanyl
never
and
leave.
save 70,000
I've personally been an
Americans
illegal
a
immigrant 6
year.
times.
That should be the priority.
Hey, maybe
of
people
this
wouldn't be running from
government.
their
And as the
problems
next
if you
president
didn't
of
just
the
give
United
all the
States,
tax breaks
I
to the
will
rich
make
people and they
that
didn't have to
border
work
wall
7 billion jobs.
complete.
There are many
Yeah.
more
I
questions on China. I do want to
I want to
ask
say
about.
Maybe they wouldn't need such great relaxation through the stressful fucking life that they have to
people to
lead.
overdoses since Biden took office. That's 300 people a day. We're taking mass casualties, and that's a statistic, but these are sons and daughters, nieces and nephews that we're losing. We've got North Dakota troops down there flying night helicopter missions
statistic is false,
from
by the
San
way.
Diego to the
Sounded-
Gulf Coast,
didn't
trying to
sound
stop these
true.
transnational
That-
criminal
No,
organizations.
he's
They've got
talking-
better funding on their side than
His
we've got on our
statistic is
side.
all
Speaking of which,
overdoses, not death from
Speaking of
overdose.
which, images from earlier this month.
Oh,
Dr.
right.
Hutchinson,
With Mexico.
Vice
the
President
Mexico
Pence.
It's general overdose,
Images
not
from earlier this month.
particularly.
Well, we secured the southern
Vice
border of the
President
United
Pence, it
States.
really doesn't
Well, you
help.
can
I'm asking
overdose.
a
You
question.
can overdose
Earlier
on
this
drugs and not
month,
die.
Images
So
showed
he's
Susan
not talking about. He's just doing
crossing into
The
Texas.
CDC statistic says 250
you
people die
consider
per day
this
of
an
all
invasion?
drug
Would you
overdoses.
authorize lethal
Okay.
force?
Drug
That includes
along that
prescription drugs, cocaine.
There would be lethal
Probably
force
alcohol.
used by
I was
the
gonna
Border
say,
Patrol,
'cause
law enforcement
you can't
as
overdose.
needed to protect the border. Absolutely. When you look at the military has to be used for intelligence gathering purposes.
Small
This is
town.
not
You know the funny
unusual.
thing,
Whenever
Progress?
I was in the
It
Bush
can't
administration,
kill you if you just keep
we went
smoking it.
down
It's
there and
weird.
met with
You just
President
get
Vicente
higher.
Fox of Mexico and asked his help in going after the cartels. And he looked at me and said, they're a problem to us as well. And so we joined together and we took down the Ariana Felix brothers leading the Tijuana cartel.
They ain't
and
even
that
listening.
made a difference. Ramon was shot
Nope.
and killed. And
I stopped
Benjamin was
listening for a
captured.
minute. What the fuck is he saying?
Cooperation makes a
this guy
difference. We
again?
cannot be successful going
Oh, this
against
is
the cartel
Ira Hutchinson.
unless we bring in Mexico as a partner. We have to use economic
Aria
pressure to accomplish that.
Hitchelson?
President Obrador
Yeah,
has not been helpful,
Hitchelson.
and we have to use economic pressure that this administration
Man,
is not
stop trying to
using.
fuck
The rule of
over
law has to
Mexico
matter on both
and
sides of
Central
it.
America.
This is critical.
You gotta
I've
help
done
these
it.
countries,
We
not
know what
pressure
needs
them
to
in
be
this
done.
shit.
He did just say that though.
Military has to be limited in its use. When after 9/11, we had the global war on terror,
Oh,
and
take a
guess
shot,
what?
everybody.
We protected the border at the
Oh
same
yeah,
time.
9/11. I
I think that's on my bingo card.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go Governor DeSantis.
It's also Vivek says it was an
So,
inside
as
job.
president, would you support sending U.S. Special Forces over the border into Mexico to take out
I hope
fentanyl
not.
labs, to take out drug cartel
Oh, so we're,
operations? Would you
Okay,
support
so
that
so
kind of
let's
Mexico
start
American
a
military?
war with Mexico.
Yes, and I
That's
will
a
do
bad
it on day
question.
one.
They should have
Here's
added
the
with
thing.
Mexico's consent.
Cartels are killing
Why would we ask them?
tens
Violate
of
sovereign
thousands
borders
of
of
our
another
fellow
nation?
citizens.
Yeah,
you want to
I'm
talk about a country in
certain
decline?
that's
You have the
illegal.
cartels
That's
controlling
against some
a lot of
UN
part of your
charter.
southern border. We have to reestablish the rule of law, and we have to defend our people. The
Like human
president of the
trafficking,
United
sir?
States has got to
Human
use all
trafficking?
available
Yeah, keep
powers
Matt
as
Gates out of there.
Commander-in-Chief to protect our country and to protect
No,
the
DeSantis
people.
is guilty
when
of
they're
trafficking,
coming across,
too.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to
No,
use lethal
DeSantis
force.
has
Yes, we
human
reserve the right
trafficking
to
on his,
operate. How many more
list,
tens of
too.
thousands are we going to let to die? I am sick. I've met angel moms throughout this country. I met a lady in Texas named
Angel
Tracy,
moms?
and
That's
her
when the
son
child has passed.
took one
Oh, I see.
Percocet that was laced with fentanyl, immediately died. That is happening all across this country because of the poison that they are bringing in. So as president, would I use force? Would I treat them
Hey.
as foreign
I mean,
terrorist
those
organizations?
Percocets aren't great for you
You're darn
either.
right, I would.
You know, Vice President Pence.
You know, they wouldn't have to buy drugs from the
Vice
cartel
President Pence,
if
why
you
would
let people
Wait
sell
a
drugs.
sec.
at this issue than Governor DeSantis. Governor DeSantis on the campaign trail refers to your administration as
I
not
feel
finishing
like
the wall.
they're
Right.
I feel like they're edging on the
Look.
point, but they're not hitting the
We
climax.
secured the southern border
Oh,
of the United
damn.
States of America and reduced
No more
illegal
whiskey.
immigration and
Sorry, I'm
asylum
Iraqi,
by
so
90%.
you can't tell me what to do. You're not my
Joe
mom.
Biden took over. He threw open the southern border of the
Yes.
United
Not your
States.
daddy
The
tonight.
wave of humanity, the wave of fentanyl
Mikey.
that's been eloquently described here is a wave
Lies,
of
all
human tragedy
lies.
across this country. But Martha, you began this evening
Biden
talking
kept the
about
border
who is
closed
best
just like Trump
prepared
did.
to be the next
Yeah.
president of the United States.
We were
And I
talking
have
to
to tell
someone
you,
with
with
it
all
to stop
humility,
9/11. Then what?
I
Since
was
the Saudis
there
who
when
financed
we
most of the recession.
negotiated through the
Well, I think he
government
was saying is like
shutdown
we
to
had
get
like the
funding
surge and all
available
that
to
shit, and
build
we still had
the
troops on the
wall.
border.
I was
So,
negotiating on
Vivek is
Capitol
a
Hill around the
dumbass.
clock. I negotiated the Remain in Mexico
Really?
policy on behalf of the President of the United States. And
Should
AC,
have
you're so
negotiated that
right.
National
It's
Guard
because
on
we used
J6.
economic pressure to bring the Mexicans to the table, and they allowed us to have people wait in Mexico while they applied for asylum and ended asylum abuse overnight. We got the Mexicans to deploy their National Guard to their southern border and to our southern border as never before. And I
Northern
wanna
border,
promise you,
dumbass.
as President of the United States of America,
northern.
I will
Mexico's
engage
northern
Mexico
border.
the
He's
exact
actually
same
correct with the southern border
way,
because of
and
all
we
the
will
Central
partner
Americans that were
with the
coming up through.
Mexican military,
Honduras.
and we will hunt down and destroy
But he was saying like our military's
the
met
cartels that are
at
claiming
our
lives
border
in the United
with
States of
Mexico.
Okay,
America.
thank you. Another issue that is related to this is that almost 7 million migrants
These
have
moderators
crossed
suck
this
really
border,
badly.
our southern
Yeah, they're
border
very
during the
bad.
Biden administration.
These are terrible.
And they're very
Governor
crunchy
Christie,
and crispy.
What would you do
Yeah.
about the 7
Put
million
some lotion on,
who
girl.
are here? How would you handle them? What would you do?
Drink some water.
Martha, the first thing we need to do is to stop any more from coming. That's the first
Puts
thing we
the
need
lotion
to do.
on
Then
its
the
skin
next
or
thing
it
we
gets
need to
the
do
hose
with the
again.
folks that are here is to, again, as
Sally.
we've talked about all night tonight, we have
Water
to have
is
law
the
and order in this
essence of
country.
moisture.
We have to enforce the law. And what
Moisture
that means
is
is
the
to make sure that
beauty.
people who come here illegally are not rewarded for being here illegally. We have so many wonderful people from around the world who are waiting
Except
in line,
Vivek.
following the law to try to come
Yeah, really,
here
fuck that
and
guy.
pursue the American dream. And those
I mean, at
people
least
are
Nikki
waiting
Haley,
and
like,
waiting and waiting.
her
because
heritage
we
is
haven't dealt with the
not
problem of the
like
folks who
not
are
a part
here.
of her.
We have to have
She
them
threw all that away.
detained. We have to make sure that they are not.
As soon as
rewarded
Vivek saw her ass, he's like,
for broken
hey.
the law.
Me
And
too,
one
right?
last
It was like,
thing
shh,
on this
what are you talking
fentanyl
about?
issue. With China, we
I'm-
can't take our
I'm
eye
just-
off of
I'm
that
just
ball.
tan.
Yes, it's
Tan.
important that we secure the border. Very important, as I just said. But China is sending these chemicals to these drug cartels for them to create the fentanyl that
Mikey-
is killing
Mikey, didn't you say-
hundreds of
didn't you say that?
thousands of our citizens.
Yeah,
Did you say that?
4 years
Engaging in
ago.
an act of
Yeah,
war
didn't you
against
say that?
us,
Okay.
killing our citizens. We better make that priority
I
one
keep telling you,
in our
Chris
conversations with
Christie
China
is actually
and to try to
the
straighten that
most
relationship
highly
out. Because if we
educated.
don't, we're going to lose more and more of our
I just
citizens.
wanna
Now,
clarify,
I do not agree with
would you
anything
send
that he
those
he-
people
he stands stands
back.
for.
Of
but-
course.
I also
have to.
have a conspiracy theory where
We
the
have a lot of
cartel
issues that Americans
sends
care
out bad
about.
drugs
Next up, we're going
when
to talk
the
about
U.S.
the crisis
pisses
in
them off.
education, as millions of American children
And
are
if you
not
keep pissing
proficient
them
in
off, then they
reading
keep
or
sending you
math
bad drugs.
After this.
That's what I think.
Well,
Because
you
they,
make them happy,
because
they'll
they,
send you good drug.
well, they scooped up El Chapo's kid, and there was like fucking 40 kids dead over the weekend. I was like, oh.
Looking forward to the topic.
And then
of
they let him out,
education
and then
in
like
a moment,
we
but
stopped
guys,
talking about it for a little while.
let's
I was
show,
like,
I think
oh,
we've
yeah.
got it. This, if
It
anything, this
seemed
block was the
retaliatory to
hand-raising
me.
block, and it was really interesting to watch the whole.
Oh my God, these people are embarrassing themselves.
Like I don't know how long it takes to like call Mexico and like, hey yo, you want to like jump the cartel? But you can't do that because if you call the Mexican government, it's half cartel. Like it's 50-50 if the cartel picks up the phone, because the cartel be like, yeah, you know, there's like 3 cartels left and they're out on this boat. They might be looking like politicians or something. Just blow them up from the sky with a missile.
They're in the mountains. I'm sure you won't get ambushed.
Yeah. And speaking of other conspiracy theories, yeah, if you think that Homeboy's plane just fucking didn't land properly, I got news for you.
Yeah, that
shit was shot out of the sky.
I got fucking Putin fucking fired the Isla, the Stinger, he had the Soflum, he had everything on that bitch. He pulled the trigger on that. Ain't no way he did.
I bet as the plane was going down, he felt just like the guy in The Boys season 1 in the airplane when Homelander just blows him out of the sky.
Nerd.
It was a good callback. That was a good reference.
I love The Boys. It's good.
It's gonna be a long time before we get to watch that again.
So how many of them do you think is going to want to get rid of the Department of Education? Because they're going to talk about education next.
They're all going to.
No. Chris
It's
Christie's gonna leave it, and then the weird Hutchinson's gonna leave it.
Education, energy.
5 out of the 8.
And what was that third one that they always want to get rid of?
The IRS.
Yeah, the IRS. So
And the ATF now.
Social Security, isn't that a big one too to get rid of?
They always like promised that I will never touch Social Security. I don't need to. Our economy is going to be so banging, we'll never need to touch that money. As soon as they get off the stage, yo, gut fucking Social Security now. Do it.
Is it?
gut
But
now.
didn't Biden turn that around on the State of the Union address on them? That was the exact thing that they all like. He said, "Oh yeah, you guys are the Republicans just want to get rid of Social Security," and they all booed and they're like, "You heard it here, folks. We're gonna hold it to you."
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember when you guys said I would cut all this shit? Where is it?
Yeah.
When did it happen?
Yeah.
All right, let's check the chat here.
Anything
Hi,
important?
YouTube.
Who's on the
Hello.
line here? Who's on the line? We've got. Oh,
On the line.
on the line. Well, who's in the chats?
Me, Tim,
You, Tim.
Mark. I got Twitch Twitch on 1, and
Twitch.
I got
Great.
77,000 points.
Yeah, I got 63,000 points. We really need to do something with all them points.
Well, the thing about doing something
Saying
with
that to you guys for like months. Come on.
well, we'll be able to do something with that soon when we're doing like the Team Nade shit. Because we have to be gaming for them. Like, I'm not gonna fucking like disrupt our serious thing with like fucking goofy sound effects and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna
A
have it
few
read
moments
out.
later.
You know, yeah, a few moments later.
The debate has returned.
Chronic
Christ.
absenteeism, deep declines
Hopefully this
for
is the
reading
end.
and math for 15-year-olds and
Yeah, are we done?
13-year-olds. Governor
Have things
DeSantis,
like request
you would
a drink
eliminate,
or
you said,
make-
the
request a
Department of
joke or
Education.
something like that.
But as president, would you still have a
But
responsibility
it's a show. We have to talk
fix
in
this
a
crisis
sentence.
as we see it?
Absolutely. The decline in education is one of the major reasons why our
shut the
country is
fuck
in
up,
decline.
Ron DeSantis.
We need education.
Let's look
in
at
this
where
country,
Florida is
not
in education.
indoctrination
Fuck
in this
you.
country. And in
Fuck
Florida,
what-
Florida, we stood up for what was right. First, we had schools open during COVID, and a lot of the problems that we've seen are because these lockdown states lock their kids out of school for a year, year and a half. That was wrong. We stood up. I took a lot of fire for that. I was pilloried by the media, but I stood for our kids. And as president, I'll stand for you and your kids as well.
If you guys
But we
don't know,
have to make sure
I've been in education
that
my
what our
entire
schools
life.
are doing is focusing on solid academics.
My
In Florida, we
parents were
eliminated
teachers,
critical race theory
family
from our
was
K-12
teachers.
schools.
I'm a teacher.
We eliminated
Education is very
gender
important to me,
ideology
and what
from our
Ron
K-12
DeSantis did
schools.
to
And
education
we have
is
elevated the importance of
systematically
American civics and
destroying what it
teaching our
means
kids
to be
about the
educated
Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
I think we've had like 8 different episodes with a Ron DeSantis attacking education
Understanding and knowledge of our Constitution.
segment.
We cannot be graduating students that don't have any
Florida is 14th in overall quality and 31st in school safe.
Mr. Peck, Mr.
He's
Ramaswamy,
got to figure it out.
And he just
You've said
implemented the
that the Department
PragerU
of
shit,
Education,
so
the
we're going to
FBI, the
have to
ATF,
wait
the
about
Nuclear
5 years
Regulatory
until we
Commission,
see
the IRS,
the
the Department of
actual
Commerce, many of these
effects
should
of
not
what
exist.
he did.
That's correct.
He is
So, to the
systematically
education
destroying it.
question, how would you deal with the crisis?
And if he gets
So, look, we
anywhere
have a crisis of
near
achievement.
federal,
Let's shut down the head of the snake, the
the
Department of Education.
federal,
Take
you know,
that $80
There it is,
billion,
drink.
put it in the hands
Oh.
of parents across this country.
Fucking
This is the
no.
civil
He wants
rights
to get rid of the
issue
Board of
our time.
Education.
Allow any
Fuck
parent
parents.
to choose where they send their kids to school. And the teachers' unions.
Oh,
at the
Department of
local
Education,
level to
sorry.
allow
And the
public
teachers'
schools
unions.
to compete.
Union's bad.
And then revive our
Bad. He's a
national
fascist.
identity where
Oh my
every
God.
high school
Literal
senior should
fascist.
have to pass the same civics test that frankly every immigrant, including my mother, had to pass in order to
Ooh,
become
and everyone has to take a
Oh, Drake.
citizenship test.
And the fact of the
Fascist.
matter is,
Yeah, isn't he the guy that also
there's
wants
part
to
of
make it so
education
kids
policy that
can't
also
vote
rests
unless
with
you
the
get to
family.
21 or
I
you're in the
didn't grow up with
military?
money,
Yeah.
but you know the word privilege gets used a lot? Well, you know what? I did have the ultimate privilege of 2 parents in the house with
Oh
a
my
focus
God.
on education.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
that's
Oh
a
my
whistle.
God.
Every kid
That's a
Dog
whistle.
Whistle.
We also have a federal government
See, this is
that
the
pays
problem.
single women more not to have a man in the house than to have a man in the house, contributing to an epidemic of fatherlessness.
Yeah, a man in the
That
house.
goes hand in
Listen
glove
to him.
with the
Family
education
first,
crisis
a
as
man
well,
in the
because you have to
house.
Remember, education starts with the family, and the nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind.
Everyone should have 2.5 kids.
Yes.
I almost accidentally said something racist.
Governor
I had to
Haley
stop
has
myself.
said that biological boys playing in girls' sports is the women's
Oh,
here we go.
Oh,
issue.
Here
and
we
the
go.
transgender
Signed a ban
issues.
on this in North
Wow.
Dakota, that there hadn't
we
been
go.
one instance where it was actually needed. Are you saying
Ah.
that you think that too much is made of this issue?
No, I'm saying in North Dakota, we made a priority of protecting women's sports, and we've done that.
There's like
in our
5 people
state.
that live in North Dakota.
Dude, you only have
do that,
4
but I do
athletes.
think when we start talking about education,
Nobody
can all
fucking
have-
lives
we're gonna have a
there.
federal
You can all have
government, one size
scholarships.
fits
It's
all.
fine.
We're just
Now,
completely
their
losing sight of the
state
fact that education
their state
differs by state.
universities have won
Some school districts are doing
like
a
what
fantastic
9
job.
national
Some
titles
also.
in
But
football.
the idea that every school district, state,
So
they got
teachers
everyone
somehow
together to play
indoctrinating people is
football.
just false. You know, when I was building
then all
a
the-
company
and
from
then all the
scratch,
trans
you know,
girls
with
kept
small
coming
town
in there,
kids, and we went, you know, grew up in a town
winning
of
all the
300. We built a
sports. Like, what are
global
these
company
fucking,
in
like, he's not even
132 countries
complaining about a
with
sport
over
that they're good at.
100,000
Like, shut up.
customers. We listened to those customers. We spent
Like,
time
all
with
the
them. We
sports
talked to
that
them.
they're
We did it. And as
participating in, you're
governor,
already fucking skunking it up.
Education's one of the biggest part of the state budget. So as a governor, I shadow a student. I don't, the night before I find
Creepy.
out.
Whoa, what does he do to
That's
students?
really
I'm gonna
creepy,
go to every
actually.
class
Leave the
without
students alone.
saying, "What's your school district trying to do it?" I go and see the experience, and there's a lot of
Leave
things
the
that have to change.
commons
But What needs to
alone.
change in education is
Hold
it's
on.
innovation.
Where's North
We're
Dakota
doing it
in
the same way we
schools?
did it 50 years ago with innovation.
49.
Not
Better
regulation.
question.
I would give
Oh my
rid of the
God.
Department of Education. I would give block grants to schools, but I'd give them on merit based on who's doing the most
On
innovative. I
merit.
just got done
Hey, Wayne.
holding the 7th
Ooh.
Oh,
annual
merit is
Governor's
the
Conference on
worst.
Innovation Education. You should
He doesn't
see
want
what
black
the
people to
are
have
doing
good
when we get
educations.
cut loose.
Merit is
Absolutely
one of
not.
the worst
Burden off
way
their
of
back.
dealing with
They care.
education.
Teachers in this country.
Well, it would be fine if they
Majority of
if they did
them care
it
about
fairly.
those kids. They're working
Right,
in
exactly.
low-paying jobs, and they're fighting.
Everybody
Hi,
start
Wayne.
from
and their families.
everybody start from square one. Okay, let's go.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
First,
Hi, Wayne.
I'll tell you, as you know,
Oi,
as a
oi.
parent, the one thing you
I'm
want
Idris
is your
Elba.
child to have a better
I goes where I
life than
goes.
you did. And we can talk about all of these things, and there's a lot of
of
crazy woke things happening.
Yeah, it's a
in schools,
debate.
But we've got to get these kids reading. If a child can't read by 3rd grade, they're 4 times less likely to graduate high school. So we need to make
Y'all
sure we
not
bring
even
in
teaching
reading
them to read?
remediation all over this
Thank you,
country. We need
Jesus.
transparency
Not North
in the
Dakota.
classroom because parents should never have to wonder what's being said or taught to their children in the classroom. Parents need to be deciding
Yeah,
which
okay.
schools their kids go
Fuck
to
parents.
because they
Sorry.
know best. And let's
I know
put
we have
vocational
some parents in the
classes back
audience,
into the
but
high schools. Let's
they
teach our
don't know
kids
anything
to
about
build things
education.
again.
And I've dealt
When
with
we do that
parents,
we
and they
allow
don't
that
know anything about
innovation,
education.
That's when it'll get back.
I know
and
Nikki
yes,
Haley
I
don't know
always
shit.
say, I'm going to fight for
And
girls
parent,
all day
agree.
long because
Yeah.
Parent, agree.
strong girls
Yeah.
become strong women. Strong women become strong leaders.
Yeah,
and
that's sweet.
biological
I
boys
agree.
don't belong in the locker rooms of any of our
cool
girls.
as well.
We're going to start the lightning round, and the first question is going to go to you, Vice President. So this is a lightning round.
Really, because
of
we've seen
questions. 30-second
coaches
answers, please.
and
President
athletic
Biden will be
doctors
82 years
be
old on
criminally
Inauguration Day.
charged with
Nearly 70%
molestation
say
of
that he
women.
is too old to serve.
We don't need to be talking about
Presidents
Michigan
have to
State or
pass
Ohio
a
State.
mental and physical test in order
Or
to serve.
Ohio.
Vice President.
Well, it might be-
Larry Nasser was a nice guy.
He was a
North
he was a
Dakota-
great phlebotomist. You know, like everyone else tries like to pull some
We've
random
got-
straight out of a
we've got
monster.
Good people on both
On
sides.
both
President
sides.
of the United States.
North Dakota is ranked
We don't need a
30th
president
in
who's too old.
education.
And we don't need a president who's too young.
Oh, Jesus.
We need a president who's been there. We need a
Oh,
president who knows how Congress
ageism.
works, how the White House works.
Hey, it was close.
how
I said
states
49.
work. And on this education issue, Martha, I was fighting against No Child Left Behind when Republicans were doubling the Department of Education. I'll also shut down the federal Department of Education. And when I was governor,
Oh, there we go.
doubled the size of the largest school
Drink.
choice program in America, and we'll give school choice to every
Yeah,
family
privatized
in
schools.
America.
That'll show them.
Schools.
This is a lightning
Charter
round, Mr.
schools.
Ramaswamy. I think you
Charter
mentioned there you're
schools.
38,
Roll
you're the
the
youngest on the
dice.
stage.
Maybe you'll
You've
get
said-
college.
And you just said
Maybe
you want a
you'll get
civics
jail.
test or public
How
service for those under
exciting.
25 to be able to vote. So the question is,
What
do
I
you want a
imagine
mental
is that
acuity
every
test for
child
presidents
before they
over
get
75?
like
I
any
believe
sort
in the
of
people of this
voucher
country to
gets
tell
that
the difference between somebody who's an automaton and somebody who's actually a
the
thinking agent in the White
shade,
House, which we don't have in there today. And I will tell you, I want to
placard
address
that
Vice
says,
President Pence's
Family Guy.
comment. I think
And
we
if
do
you're on
need
the
somebody
first
of
half,
a
you
different
get
generation
all
to lead this
whatever
nation
school
forward.
choice you
Look at the way
want.
I've run this
Lower half,
campaign.
you get
Go into the south side of Chicago, to Kensington, in the middle of Philadelphia, where traditional Republican candidates
what they
don't go. We have an opportunity to build a multi-ethnic, working-class majority to deliver a landslide.
Ooh, he said
And I think I'm the
multi-ethnic? They don't
only
like
candidate in
that.
this race,
Oh, you're
young
outta
or
here.
old, black or
Yeah,
white,
goodbye.
to bring all of those voters
Cute.
along to deliver a Reagan 1980 revolution.
Same.
We're going to do it
That
in
is the
2026.
worst president ever. Why would you duplicate the worst
I will
guy?
answer that. I will answer that.
30 seconds. 30
Yep.
seconds.
30-second quick answer.
You
to that.
guys need
No, no, no,
y'all
no.
need to get
You
control.
just
Now they're
got done
fighting.
talking.
Now they're
You have to
fighting.
get
Listen, we're
control of
getting
this
control of the debate. This is a lightning round, not rolling thunder. Governor Hutchinson,
Lightning
you have
round.
30 seconds
out
on the
your
same
gloves.
question.
On education, first of all, look at Arkansas. We have to compete with
God.
China. I built
God,
computer
all right,
science
fine, I'll look at
education.
Arkansas.
We led the
Christ.
nation in computer science education, going from 1,100 students to 23,000 students taking it. This is how you compete with China. As President of the United States, I will make sure we go from 51% of our schools offering computer science to every school in rural areas and urban areas offering computer science for the benefit of our kids, and we can compete with China in terms of technology.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
heard
sir.
you.
This is going to go to
Biden
this is coming to you. We're trying to do a quick round of different topics here. So, Senator
Arkansas,
Scott,
24th.
faith is on
24th
decline
in
in this
education.
country. You talked about it a little bit before tonight. So, is there a role for a president of the United States in changing that? What would you do to change that?
Well, our nation was founded upon the Judeo-Christian values that have made us to the greatest nation on God's green earth. I'm a big believer
God.
in Ephesians 3:20 that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly
Not
more than
literally.
we ask or imagine. Our responsibility should be to model the behavior we want others to follow. On education, the only way we change education in this nation is to break the backs of the teachers' unions.
Yeah,
They're
fascism.
There we go.
storehouse
Kill all
of
the
our
teachers.
kids,
Bust it up.
locking
Stop
them
saying the K word.
into failing schools and locking them out of the greatest future they could have.
Yeah,
My
lock
God.
They don't
As
need
President Governor
salaries.
DeSantis, would you
You're
support
right.
some
They don't need
mandatory
healthcare.
military service
No.
for all Americans?
Lock them in.
I
They have
think
to
it
stay
should
in
be
the room.
voluntary.
when
I'm
the
somebody
class
that
is leaving.
volunteered to serve, inspired by September
You're sleeping
11th,
here.
and I deployed
Some
to
of these
Iraq
cots together.
alongside U.S. Navy SEALs
From
in
that
places like
time.
Fallujah,
Free
Ramadi,
housing in
and
no
it's
room, but
something
no
that
help.
I think has taught me. When you go in that type of environment, anything you have, your personal agenda, you check it at the door. You go there, and it's about focusing on the mission above all else. And guys come together and they get it
No,
done.
you're
And
not
that's
supposed to
how
say
I would
that.
view being the president of
No
the
one
United
hates
States.
gay
It's not
people
about
like
me.
that more than
It's not
somebody
about
who's
all
so
these
far
other
in the
side
closet
issues.
that they-
My
that
sole
they're not even
focus
in
will be
Narnia.
on your
They, like,
future
fell past
and
that.
reversing this country's decline.
Narnia's like, come back.
Now for something a little
That's
out
the
of
edge of
this
the world.
world, and this is for you, Governor Christie. Do you believe that the recent spike in UFO encounters?
Oh, here we go.
All right. I get the UFO question?
Yeah, you do.
Come on,
There
man.
you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right?
But okay, we've been hearing a lot of testimony in Congress,
Should this
and
even
people
be
are taking this a lot more
discussed?
seriously. And we're hearing that
They're
there
neutering
are
him.
things going on
He's doing
that
too
people
well.
aren't aware of. So, if you were president, Governor
the question,
Christie,
answer
would
something
you level
Christie,
with
talk
the
about
American
something else. Don't
people
listen to these
about what the
fuckers.
government knows about
Trump
these
again.
possible
Look, Martha,
encounters?
and especially coming from a woman from New Jersey, I think it's horrible that just because I'm from New Jersey, you asked me about unidentified flying objects and Martians. We're different, but we're
Jersey
not that
Devil.
different. Look, of course, the job of the President of the United States is to level with the American people about everything.
I thought you were going to say
The
level
job of
the United
President
States. I was like,
of
oh
the
no.
United States is to stand for truth.
Glass the planet.
The job of the President of the United States is to be a
easier.
role model for our
Orbital
children
strike.
Start
and
over.
our grandchildren.
Reset.
And so whether it was
gather all 5
UFOs
Infinity
or this
Stones.
problem of education, and Tim's right, by the way, and I
You gotta get
started
the
this
gauntlet,
in
too.
2010 by
Oh,
going
shit. We
right
gotta
after
go
the
to-
teachers' unions in New
where is it?
Jersey
No-
and drove them
nowhere?
down to an all-time low popularity rating because they were
what
putting
was the place
themselves
You gotta
before
find
our
Peter
kids.
Dinklage.
That
It's the only
is the
one.
biggest threat to our country, not UFOs.
Okay. Well, coming up, we've got closing arguments. Plus, right
Oh,
after
thank
the debate,
God.
Hannity is live from the
Okay.
spin room.
And
Anyway,
a little drunk.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go.
Uh,
Smoke. I'm gonna go smoke.
I'm a
again.
little drunk, but that's
Well,
okay.
while Mikey's smoking, does anyone want to take a whack at the top 5 states for education?
Massachusetts is number one.
I don't know. I
Right.
guess I'll also say
Yeah,
California.
Massachusetts is.
Are we saying in general, like just
the top 5 states overall ranking in education.
okay.
Massachusetts, Connecticut.
Washington?
California.
So
No,
the
California isn't in the top 10, I don't think.
so
I
the
don't-
top
I don't even believe that.
the top 5 in overall ranking. This is combining
Okay.
everything. Number 1 is New Jersey.
What? Oh,
Number
they didn't-
2,
And they didn't ask him about fucking education.
right? Right.
There's a
Number-
reason because he's like, I know how to do it.
Number 2 is Massachusetts.
Yep, that makes sense.
Number 3 is Connecticut.
Yep.
Number 4 is Minnesota.
Get out of here, Tim.
Is what?
Minnesota's number 4.
Minnesota.
We do
That's
everything
a
right.
State.
Number
Envious.
5, Illinois.
Number 5 is Wisconsin.
Oh, what the fuck? We lost to Wisconsin?
Yeah,
That's right.
Illinois is 8.
Oh,
Oh.
you know what? That's not my fault because we got Southern Illinois. I forgot all about that.
California is 15.
Woohoo!
Ah, in your face.
We're on the board.
Where's Prince Edward Island?
What?
I only have United States.
That's right.
That chart sucks. I'll be back.
Wait, they have an education system in PIE.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
And
maritime. Maritime. I have friends from maritime, so
The-
it's okay.
The 5 worst states are Idaho, Louisiana, South Carolina, Mississippi. The worst state in the country is Mexico for education. New Mexico for education.
I was like, have we been in Mexico yet? That's great. Let's take it.
You
Now we can't put a
blast,
border.
huh?
Mexico.
Does
wow.
it say why?
Why what?
Why New Mexico's last?
They are the worst in academic performance. They are 47th in safety. They are 45th in community. They are 44th in academic investment. And they are 47th in class size.
Yes.
I'm gonna context New Mexico a little bit too, is that the reservation system is included in that, and that is woefully underfunded, underrepresented. If you want poverty to see poverty, drive through a New Mexico reservation.
Yeah. When it comes to, let's see, SAT scores, not that they matter too much nowadays, but top state is Minnesota. Worst state,
nothing else to do.
Worst state, District of Columbia.
We drink
is the
a
worst
lot.
state for
Hush.
SAT scores.
I
There's the
visited
same
Ohio
shit to
once,
do
and I
wherever you
figured
go.
out that drinking is the only thing you can do in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, at least Minnesota, we have lots of parks,
yeah, no,
trails,
we're
and
not.
we are the land of 10,000 lakes.
Which
So like
one?
boating and
That's all
summer
good.
shit it's pretty big.
You want a
but-
piece of popcorn? I just give you a sec.
Yeah, Raina, I want a piece of popcorn.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
we all have popcorn?
Popcorn sound good.
Yeah, Raina, we got it.
Oh.
Tim, where's my grilled cheese? I've been
I'm
waiting.
working on it, man.
Okay,
I'm working
okay.
on it. There's a lot of science and engineering that has to go into this.
Okay, I'm here for it. Whenever you're ready.
I will start doing Uber Eats soon and Grubhub, so
Oh.
That'll be really expensive.
Have fun with that.
That's what I'm excited about.
no, we got a starting Labor Day weekend. We got a 7-day week spot down by the seawall where I live, so we'll be operating full time. I'm hiring staff currently.
Whoa, that's cool.
What happened?
Big
Oh.
time.
Oh, the Reagan Library.
Tim is super rich now and is offering to bankroll the.
All right.
See, because I'm also taking on $20,000 in additional student debt because I'm going
Ooh.
back to school in a week. So
Oh, fun.
Or you going back for your PhD?
no, my master's in public administration.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. All right, Mikey. We're on the board.
That number has now plummeted to just 39%. In his pitch to
What?
get to the Oval Office, President Reagan called America the shining city on a hill, a beacon of hope
fuck that.
and optimism.
Oh my God.
They're not
In your
even
closing
Reagan
statement tonight, please
Republicans
tell
anymore.
American voters why you are the person who can inspire this nation to a better day. These are 45 seconds, and we begin with Governor Burgum.
In 3 minutes
I
each.
understand why America's hurting. Biden's inflation is choking us. I grew up in a small town.
Inflation
My
is
dad
going
died when I
down,
was
but okay.
freshman in high school.
3%.
My mom, widow of 3, went back to work. Every job I had growing up was one where I took a shower at the end of the day, not at the beginning of the day.
Gross.
What the fuck?
Our cities are less safe because of the fentanyl pouring into this country. Our economy
Dirty
is
ass.
being crushed by Biden's energy policies, which are raising the cost of every product you buy, not just the gasoline at the pump.
That's not
One thing
Biden.
that I'll do as president,
They've
I'll
tried to
secure the
control
border.
That's
I'll get this
corporate.
economy
Shoot down.
sprinting, not crawling like it is right now. And I would say that other thing is for sure,
It's actually
when I'm on a
oil
horseback
cartels, but
in the
we're not
Badlands of
talking
North
about that.
Dakota, it looks like the horizon is just limitless. And when you can almost see beyond that horizon, you can
What?
see that this
How?
great country, our future is unlimited.
What the fuck is he?
But we
Get
gotta
this guy
focus on
outta here.
innovation,
You can't
not
see past the
regulation.
horizon. That's why
We've
it's called
gotta
the
cut
fucking
red
horizon. Get
tape.
outta
We
here.
got to
You're
drive
done.
ourselves forward. The way we
You're
win
done.
the
Flat
Cold War
Earth
with
China.
China is by growing our economy and through
you,
innovation.
a flat earther?
And
Dude.
as president, I will bring out the best of America. I
Take
will
your
improve
painkiller
every
and go
American
sit down.
life.
Next.
Well, we
Get
hope you're back on your horse soon, Governor.
off your feet. Elevate that thing.
Oh,
Our nation is
shut
in
up,
trouble.
bitch. That's
And it's in
just-
trouble because of failed leadership.
Ah,
And
failure.
the solution is not
failure
4
from
more
Mr.
years of
Hutchinson.
Joseph Biden. The solution is not 4 more years of Donald Trump. The solution is new leadership that can bring
Oh.
bold ideas to America and to bring out the best of America.
He looks
A
like Droopy
president's
Dog.
number one responsibility
With
is
little
to bring
hair.
out
He
the
look like
best
Droopy Dog.
of our people. That's what Ronald
Kind of
Reagan
looks like
did.
Lindsey Graham
And he
like
did it
20
with
years from now.
optimism and hope for our country with a consistent
Lindsey Graham
conservatism.
wishes.
That's
Lindsey
exactly
Graham with
what
a
I bring.
facelift.
As
Right.
president, I'll bring
Look at
out
those
the best of
cheekbones. Are you
America
kidding me right now?
in terms of individual
like- that's some
responsibility,
tight-
building
that's
our
tight.
economy, in
He's a
terms of
model.
securing our border, enforcing the
That's
rule
some
of law.
Botox
I'll bring out
injection
the
right
best of
there.
America in terms of our
That's-
national
that's
character,
work.
our faith,
got some
and our
work done.
hope for the future. Join
Nobody
in this
cares what
fight.
these people say. I don't know why.
ACE2024.com.
Thank you. Senator
All
Scott.
right, he did his website. That's 1 point for participation.
Thank you. I was a disillusioned young man growing up in a single-parent
Next.
household mired in poverty.
Next.
I
We
wondered
do not
if the
care.
American dream was real for a kid like me. I can stand
It's
before
not.
you today and say the dream is
I wanna take
alive,
away that
it is
from you.
well, and it is healthy. I have the
He is
gift
not-
of a
he's
mom who
not-
works
he's not
16-hour
well
days,
liked
making
in the
sure we have
Tim
food on our
community.
tables. She taught me that if you're able-bodied in America, you work. If you take out a loan, you pay it back. If you commit a violent crime, you go to jail. And if
Well,
God
I don't
knows
If you're
why
a
you
nit-
play
back my loans.
sports
And if you're a nigger,
against
you
men.
get off the sidewalk when the white man comes past. Shut your ass.
I'm Tim
Did
Scott.
not.
I'm asking you for your vote, and if you're in Iowa, I'm asking
Nice
you to
white
caucus
person-
for me.
nice white
You can go
person
to
tells you to step aside,
votetimscott.com for more information or to make
Ooh,
a
he put his
contribution.
website.
Governor Christie.
Woohoo! They have to,
Thank you, Brett.
pay
Thank you,
time for
Martha.
that.
Look, everybody on this stage wants
Well
to be the
said,
next
Vargas.
president of the United States. And the only way that's going to
Well,
happen
except for
is if we
Vivek.
beat Joe Biden.
Yeah, he wants to be
I'm the
Fuhrer.
only one on this stage who's ever beaten a Democratic incumbent in an election. I did it in a deep blue state, being outspent 3-1. Beating
I
a
mean,
Democratic
he's
incumbent
he's
is not
not
easy.
wrong.
The last Democratic incumbent president who was
Yeah.
defeated was Jimmy Carter. And
You know,
he was
I think I
defeated
wouldn't be
by a
Oh, we're
conservative
not
governor
invoking
from
Jimmy
a blue
Carter right
state
now. I'm
who knew how to
sorry.
get results, who
I'm
stood for
sorry.
the truth, who cared about accountability, and stood strong and hard against waste. Those are the very things that
Strong.
I did in my 8 years as governor of New Jersey.
I heard
and
it.
it's exactly what I'll do as president of the United States. Believe me,
Sorry.
the Democrats want
This is what
some
late
of the
night Greta
nominee
looks
who's
like,
never
by
beaten
the
the
way.
Democratic incumbent. I'm the one
I'm
who
here
can
for
win
it.
this race, and if you give me the chance,
I should
I
be
will
on
restore our
speaking from the
country by
center a
winning
few
it.
more times.
Thank you. Governor Haley.
Welcome anytime, I'm sure.
Several weeks ago, I dropped my husband,
Well,
Michael,
you
a
need
combat
to-
veteran from
You
Afghanistan,
need to lighten it up a little
off
bit.
at 4
with the
a.m. for another year-long deployment.
Spicy hair.
I watched him and
it's
230
about that time.
soldiers pick up their 2 duffel bags of belongings to go to a country they had never been, all in the name of
They should
protecting
travel
America.
more.
Yeah,
If they are
they should
willing
get out
to
more.
protect
Jeez.
us from there,
Go see the
we should
world.
be willing
if they
to
got
fight
sent to, like,
for
Mexico?
America here.
It's on
I
them,
will
really.
beat Joe Biden, and he knows that. I will strengthen our economy.
Joe
and we'll
Biden
bring
knows
this
that.
inflation down. We
Does
will
he?
put transparency in the classroom. We will
he?
secure
Does he
our
know your
borders.
name?
We will have the backs of
Does
our
he
law
remember you?
enforcement, and we will make sure we have a
he pick
strong
you out of a
national
crowd?
security. And once
Oh,
again,
yeah,
we
that
will
one
make sure
lady.
we have an America that is strong and proud. We have a country to save. Join us. Go to NikkiHaley.com and let's get it
there you
done.
go.
She did the thing.
Comment, like, and
Vice
subscribe.
President Pence.
Actually, she got some pretty good.
When her husband went back to Afghanistan recently, I thought we pulled out.
Honored to be
Yeah,
here.
what's he doing there? Come back.
Joe Biden has weakened America at home.
You're going to be
and
the only
abroad.
one there.
The disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, their war on
Trump did.
energy, runaway spending that launched the worst inflation in 40 years, a crisis
Trump.
at our southern border,
Nope.
an assault on
Nope.
our values and
Nope.
liberties.
No, not
And the American
Biden's
people
fault,
have
you guys.
enough.
Sorry.
Guys
But I
need
know
to
we can
learn
bring
how
it
to
back.
read or something.
But different
Listen,
times
it's
call
been
for different
2
leadership.
years. You need to stop
The
blaming
Republican
Trump.
Party owes the
Yeah.
American people a choice.
They were elected to
Proven
lead,
leadership
not to read.
at the national level that knows how to move a conservative agenda forward. We proved in the Trump-Pence years you can turn this country around faster than you can
Reading
imagine.
is for libs.
And I have faith we will again.
Reading's for
Because I have
nerds.
faith in the American people.
Reading's for betas.
Good, decent,
promise to
hard-working,
never read
faith-filled,
again.
idealistic
I'm
people of this country. And I have
Like
faith
some beta
that
reading
God
some
is not
fucking
done with
paper.
America yet.
There's
And if
only
we will
2
renew
books
our
that I
faith in one
read.
another and
The
renew
Art
our
of the
faith
Deal
in
and the
Him who
Bible.
has ever guided this nation since
Art
we
of the Deal
arrived
and
on
2
its northern
Corinthians.
shores. I know the best days for the greatest nation on earth are yet to come.
Thank you. Mr.
Oh, we're going to have great days when your
I was
ass is
born
out
in
of there.
1985, and I grew up into a generation
my
where we
God.
were taught
Oh my
to
God.
celebrate our
He's 8
diversity
years older than
and our
me,
differences so much. that we forgot all of the ways we are really just the same as Americans, bound by a common set of ideals that set this
Written by
nation into
people who
motion
didn't
in
think you were human.
1776. And this is our moment to revive
didn't even
those
know
common
who you
ideals.
are.
God is real.
knew the
There
Indian-
are
they
two
knew the idea.
genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. And
Reverse
abortion
racism
is
is
not a border.
racism.
Parents determine the education of their children.
No,
the
they
nuclear
don't.
family is the greatest form of governance
the
known to
community.
man.
My God.
Capitalism lifts us up from poverty.
No!
There
Yes,
are three branches
capitalism.
of government, not
feel
four.
safe
And
already.
the U.S. Constitution, it is the strongest
Next president of the
guarantor
United States,
of
right
freedom
here.
in human history. That is what won us the
No,
American
I could
Revolution.
see him
That
just
is
being a
what
Trump
will
running
win
mate.
us the revolution
No,
of
the
2024.
French
Thanks
won
for
us
letting
the
me introduce
American
myself
Revolution.
tonight. Thank you.
Governor DeSantis.
Oh my God.
Even Brett Baer is sick of these people.
Governor?
Looks
This
like
is
somebody's
our time
dumbass
for
older
choosing.
brother.
We will send Joe Biden back to his basement, and we will reverse the decline
Back
of this
to his
country.
basement?
I'm a
Are
blue
you
collar
kidding
kid.
me?
I work minimum wage jobs to be able to make ends meet. I understand
You
the
were in the
importance of the
Army.
American dream, and I know how that's slipped away
The
from so
Jag-
many millions of Americans. Will restore it. I'm a veteran who served in Iraq. I
don't know
know
what
what
you're
it
saying.
means to put service above self. I'm also a dad and a husband to 6', 5, and 3-year-old. I understand the importance of
And you work
protecting
minimum
parents'
wage?
rights and the
You ever
well-being
tried-
of
you ever
our
thought of-
children.
you ever thought
In
of
Florida,
condoms?
we showed it could be done. I made
No,
promises
he's
and I
far too
delivered
Jesus-y
on
for
all
that.
of those promises. 2024 is make or break. We're not getting a mulligan. No
Like Chris
excuses.
Christie.
I
Uses
will
the
get the
rhythm
job
method.
done, and as your president, I will not let you down. God bless you all.
Well, we want to say thank you.
I will
Thank
also
you to all the
include
candidates on the
Austin
stage
symbolism
tonight,
in
and
my
thank you to
campaign.
Milwaukee.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you on the campaign trail from
Oh my
debates to
God.
primaries
Thank
to
God
the
it's
general
over.
election and the conventions.
Yep.
This is the first of many, Tim.
Oh no. How many times do we have to do this?
I'm guessing 5 or 10, somewhere in there.
Ugh.
I actually just saw a really interesting video about how we can revive our livers. Convenient. Convenient.
Okay.
Is that because you've been drinking so much because of the drinking game of
Well, I don't have any alcohol. I have like no alcohol in my house anymore. So I had some Sprite with my fast food.
So
If I ever
Couple of-
come to
couple of
visit
tokes.
Mikey, you have to remedy that.
Oh, yeah. I would never. I would never.
Yeah. You have to have a collection.
Mm-hmm. I'll get some cedar to infuse it. Oh, that's
There you go. Oh God. Just put burnt leather and whatever. Just put burnt
peat,
leather.
Just peat floating in it.
Just peat.
So,
I'm not chewing on Pete by the end of the night. You did your job incorrectly.
Then we start again.
I'm not coming back.
We start again in the morning.
Thoughts on? We'll call it a debate.
Yeah, that's what they're
It seemed
labeling.
more
it.
like
It was a mock you made.
Let's go
Yeah.
around, Mikey. Let's do a round.
Round the horn.
How do we each feel? Mikey, you gather everybody.
I feel like we can have somebody primary Biden and still win.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but I feel like they're a mess. And Trump may or may not be in jail. Like everyone's talking tough, but the Mar-a-Lago kid just fucking flipped on him. The security janitor kid.
Oh yes, I heard about that.
He flipped
Yeah.
saying that
The lion, yeah.
Fucked.
Yeah, he flipped saying he fucking helped them destroy evidence and shit like that. So
Yep. He's going down for that shit.
yeah, that happened this afternoon. So Trump they may not have put him on there because they were like, look, dude, he's a motherfucker going to jail. I ain't gonna give him all this fucking airtime. He ain't gonna be there. Might as well build the character of these motherfuckers that will actually be at the rest of the fucking events because they won't be incarcerated.
So I have a question
7.
for the audience.
42.
42.
Has anybody here ever voluntarily voted for a Republican
Yeah.
I used to be a strident conservative / libertarian fundamental Christian. So yeah.
I have voted for Republicans on both the local and state level.
So do
These
any
all elections for me.
do any of these on the stage? I'm not talking about Trump, because Trump currently was not on stage. Do any of these appeal to you as a voter?
Only Christie.
Yeah, only Christie. If it like, you know, if I had to, it would be Chris Christie.
Okay.
Out of that lot, yeah.
Maybe Nikki Haley, but like that's a stretch. Like there are some things that she said that had a semblance of coherence.
But that's the thing though, right? Like they're all kind of like chimera beasts where it's like, oh, this one's got scorpion claws and a bear mouth, and this one's got viper fangs and it's electrocuting you. Like they all have different monstrous traits, and I think Chris his monstrous trait is like he's just like a bulldozer, right? Like that's like his thing is just bulk, and I feel like that's less dangerous than Vivek is just like some sort of like flying incorporeal fucking multiplying dire like every descriptor you can put monster. Like that's what he is.
I wasn't expecting the diehard fascism that he was spewing. Like that
unabashed. not
like
nervous, not flinching.
Mussolini playbook right there. It's
that's that populism that y'all love so much.
Yeah.
So we have a question. We have a question from the chat. Simply Secular Dave says, which
Dave.
candidate is most likely to take the GOP in a good direction after they are elected?
Christie.
I'd say Christie.
Christie
I kept saying that Christie, being the most highly educated person there, actually understands more of the position than everybody else. I think everybody else is even Nikki Haley is in it for herself, themselves.
I think
where Chris Christie, I think he has some sway.
He's
Christie
got
has
a track record of public service.
Christie lives in New Jersey, where you actually have to work both sides of the aisle. I mean, you're required to. This isn't North Dakota where 70% or Nebraska where 65%. You have a super majority on one side of the aisle. It's kind of like Romney, because to win in a blue state like those two,
Get in on that mic.
To win like Romney and Christie did in blue states is significantly more difficult than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
And to be able to work both sides of the aisle is pretty impressive, actually.
That's
especially.
Oh, go ahead.
Actually, Sweet, it sounds like you got the wrong mic activated, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I might be using your camera again.
Yeah.
For Chris Christie, he defeated an incumbent Democrat, and Christie had less money.
That's impressive.
For a Republican to beat an incumbent Democrat governor in a blue state, like Jersey is like one of the bluest states.
It's like South New York.
Christie had to get a lot of cross vote support from Democrats. Like he had to get Democrats to vote for him to win. So
they stopped caring about that bridge.
Yeah. He has the most experience, and he had a very high approval rating until that bridge shit went down. And then, he got into a lot of trouble.
Right.
But
quick testing.
Yeah.
That's better.
Much louder. Tap your mic. There we go.
Yeah.
But you're right. None of these other guys have to deal with any of that. Like DeSantis, the fuck does he have to do in Florida? Nothing. He's got a majority in the legislature, and Florida has been trending red since 2000.
That's because it's full of people who are 7,000 years old.
Yep. And if the Republicans want any chance of leeching blue votes, just like you were saying, Tim, Christie is the only option here.
Yeah, because even like
Christie to me is the one that could get the blue votes for people on the blue side of the aisle that have more socially conservative views, especially when it comes to the LGBT side of the aisle. There are a significant number of blue voters. I mean, I say significant, not a majority, but a materially significant amount that side with, not necessarily as far as DeSantis, but they're much more socially conservative than they would lead on.
I think the word you're looking for is transphobic.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm trying to dance around the fact, but I don't want to say transphobic for a lot of them because I just don't think they have
they don't
have
know
any education on the issue. I think they're ignorant, not.
Yeah.
But I also think trending when it comes to, say, the Republican Party or the Republican ideology, things like gay rights, trans rights, those have been shifted so much that it's almost like you have to have an opinion on it, and your opinion has to be negative.
Right.
And so I think it really is hard for most of these individuals to really set themselves, stake their ground when it comes to trans rights.
So I
because they have to, but they don't believe it, or they don't care enough to stake a claim on one side or the other.
So my question for everybody: who is the most genuine, and by default, who is the most full of shit?
The most genuine was Vivek. I mean, we saw exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
I was going to say the same thing.
There was no bullshit.
Yeah, he meant every word of that.
The most Trumpian, Vivek would definitely had the most Trumpian responses to things because he knew what worked. He studied. You could tell he studied.
So who's fakest?
I think the person who came
DeSantis.
off as most full of shit, it was Tim Scott.
I was going to say Tim Scott too.
Yeah.
I don't know most of their names, so I couldn't answer the question.
The black guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
I think DeSantis believes his own lies, and I think that's dangerous, and he's used them against his own people. Don't know if he's full of shit, because I think he believes his own lies.
Tim Scott was just using Republican talking point number 5, Republican talking point number 7. That.
Remember,
dude was just
Tim
parroting
Scott
bullshit.
is trying to be the good one, right? He's
But he's not going to show up at all today. He didn't even. He was just he might as well voted present. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah. He didn't add any. He just said the most basic right-wing answer to everything. And
but
then
did.
No, but then he let everybody talk over him, and then he just sat there and he shut up. And that's what he did the whole time. He wouldn't interrupt back or interject. He just waited for his turn to answer his question, gave the milquetoast answer, and then got cut off, and then just shut his ass up.
He was debating the old way when there was some sort of civility in debates, and you got to speak. But
prior to 2016,
he studied the wrong debates.
Hear me out.
Wrong playbook.
Hear me out. What if he pulled out a white chair from behind that lectern?
Oh my God.
I'd vote for him tomorrow. If he fucking just went full on Bayou Montgomery docks on their asses.
Yeah.
If he would have leaned in and went warm today.
Yeah.
Warm yesterday. Been to be warm tomorrow.
Well, bam. Well, bam, 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 bam. He's like a samurai. He's just so fast with the folding chair.
Yeah, just proof that all Tims are bad eggs. I don't know.
Who do you think's
there's a couple things that actually could be really good in the Republican favor. Is the fact the matter is that two very big voting blocks, the Hispanic and the black vote, are still very religious blocks.
Yep.
And they will vote on the socially conservative line. This is the only reason that the trans issue has any weight to it at this point, is because of those two blocks. If you took away those two blocks and how religious they were.
Because black Christians are fucking homophobic and transphobic. You're fucking phobic. You're afraid. You're bigots. That's wrong. You should stop doing that. You should stop throwing away black kids. There's not a lot of them, and they're all important to me. So maybe you should stop throwing them away because they're gay or trans.
And
you said it more succinctly than I did, but but the Hispanic, the heavily Catholic Hispanic vote and the Southern Baptist black vote,
lockstep.
There's a lot there.
And older Asian, and a lot of a lot of liberals don't understand older Asians are not going to be as liberal as they believe. Their children are. But that's how, like, here in Orange County, our most conservative, congressional representatives are Asian women, because they go directly for the older Asian crowd. And when they go over the older Asian voters, they win. And then they get their crazy conservative views that we all know and love into the mainstream, because they have that support. And that is one of the demographics that is getting overlooked, especially the Hispanic, older Hispanic and older Asians are getting overlooked by the Democratic Party. And that's those are two growing demographics.
The thing that they talked about that's going to kill them the most is the abortion issue.
Yeah.
That is going to lose them the biggest voting block, which is women.
White women.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
Democrats need to die on that hill as their main issue.
In 2020 and 2016, the biggest voting blocks were white suburban women, and white suburban women are not on their side when it comes to abortion.
I got one upstairs.
Like, those were the most important voting blocks, because that's like the suburbs of Philadelphia. those are the women who live in the suburbs, and
come on into my trap, little spider.
They've seen the Republicans have seen them. They've lost in conservative states on this issue. They're going to continue to lose in conservative states on this issue.
No, they won't.
And they're losing in battleground states on this issue.
Tim, that's fake news. Tim.
But it's the only reason that the red tsunami turned out to be a blue trickle.
Yeah. It's going to lose them House seats.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Good job. I support this.
So keep doing
that.
You look at the anti-abortion legislation. You look at the anti-abortion legislation that's been going on in the last midterm election, and a lot of those ended up failing due to the fact that white suburban women.
Yep. Even strident Republicans in Ohio voted against Measure 1.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too much control.
Yep.
It's control over somebody else, and that's even conservative women don't like that control over people.
It opens a door. What else can you control if you take that right away?
Well,
control what you eat.
Any right is up for grabs. Personal autonomy.
Just put this bonnet on your head before you go out, okay?
Yeah. Any Republican.
Should we all wear red? Is that what it is now?
You're a breeder, aren't you?
I think the Democrats need to replay the RNC, one of the RNC speakers from 3 years ago, a lady that said women shouldn't have the right to vote anymore. It should be a household vote.
Oh God. Yeah.
I would never fucking say that.
I mean, don't fuck with women.
That's
like
Mufasa.
Brenna,
they need to do that, and they really need to start publicizing that Moms from Liberty speech where she goes, "I stand behind people that quote Hitler."
Oh. Brenna, when are the women putting us in cages?
Can I have a nice cage?
I would like to push.
We'll have.
Yeah,
so we have to do.
I want a pad in mine.
So we have to do background checks before we do and see how much misogyny. Do you have a podcast that is?
It's a game?
Do you have a podcast that is predominantly men?
Am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you.
And we're screwed.
Have you ever retweeted Andrew Tate unironically?
Politicians.
Joe
that's
Rogan,
about the
where
only sin
are
I've never
you on the
committed.
list of
I mean,
Joe
the one thing
Rogan?
I've never done is sniff the throne of someone in power. I find that repulsive. I've never done it.
I would never do that. So about my cage, I'm gonna
You'll
need
have
Wi-Fi.
you know what?
I want to play video
you'll
games
have-
with these fools.
Mikey, you will have water.
Whoa, wow, he gets water?
It's what? Not only that, but it's like infinite water. Like it's just it's
I
a
get my own.
constant.
Hey, who wants to buy some water? I'm selling water out of my.
Does he
There
get
you
one of
go.
those
I
like
have
things that
infinite
like
milk.
cycles the water?
Oh
It's just
yeah,
my
like a fountain, like one
Yeah.
of those little kitty fountains that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
makes it all aerated. Oh yeah,
I also have to pee in there.
yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
And then it recycles it for you.
I have to
I
wait
was
a long
gonna say
time for it to stop being
wait.
yellow, but
I
it
was gonna
always tastes
say
like pee.
that Mikey's water, whatever he doesn't actually consume, has to go to the rest of you.
Oh no.
Mikey's
You're
not going to last
welcome.
long.
You're welcome.
So now you guys are and
I'm just saying, in the
And
current
Mikey-
system, we never did this to you. I'm just saying.
Mikey's cage will be unlocked. Mikey's cage will be unlocked. So if you guys ever get out of your cages,
I don't
you
know.
can go to you can one-on-one Mikey.
I don't know
for
how
the-
I don't know how they got out.
I'm a good boy. I stay in my cage.
Shut the fuck up, Tim. We're getting the fuck
can
out of
take him.
here. We gotta get out of here, Tim. I've been listening to people start sentences in the middle of the sentence for 13 weeks, and I can't take it no more.
Done. Done.
They keep just starting in the middle, and I don't know what's going on.
Any Republican who is the Republican nominee in 2024 who says anything about a national ban on abortion is going to lose.
Auto loss.
It's
Insta-loss.
not gonna happen. It's actually one of the very few access to abortion and gun control are two things that America actually agrees on. Most of America, we're talking about 70-80%.
Weed
of voters.
legalization too. That I think is another one that
And that's not being talked about enough. And
Which one was that?
removing
weed legalization.
removing marijuana as a Schedule I drug actually will benefit everybody more than they think it will to keep criminalized.
And the thing is, like, most of the drugs coming from Mexico is weed. Legalize weed. You've just defunded the cartel, which is stupid
Yep.
ass. You could just give people what they're already going to fucking jail for.
Yeah.
And just be done with it.
Oh,
Sell the licenses. You tax the fucking shit out of it. They tax
And pay
it-
for education.
they
That's
tax it
literally
at-
fund education
it's,
for
it's like 30 fucking % here in Illinois.
What
We
Colorado does.
January 1st, 2020, they fucking passed weed. We ran out in 6 weeks. Don't worry about just legalize it. And then you'll work out the details as it comes. It was a little rocky at first. They wouldn't accept cards from places. Like, you'll work it out. Day by day, you'll work it out. Just legalize the shit and stop locking people up for it and stop.
So
funding
here
the fucking
in
drug war.
California, we decriminalize marijuana, and the next election cycle, all these counties and cities went nuts trying to get legalization or the decriminalization in their city and counties passed. We had even just in my city, we had so many licenses requests that we couldn't even process them in the amount of time that it took. It took us 3-4 years just to process all the licenses. That's how important it is to us. And this is where we had full legalization in a city like 5 minutes from us.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you get into this weird
We
shit.
need it.
And you get into this weird shit where, like, oh, on this side of the street it's fine, but it's a felony on that side of the street. Like, you gotta just do it federal. Just be done with it. Like, stop fighting.
And then-
let it go. Just let it go.
And then you can go like, oh, this because we have regulations about how close it is to schools, how close it is to this and that.
Yeah.
We could only give out like 50 licenses in the entire city, and we had 300 places that people could end up going that was in our regulation.
Yeah. See.
We don't even like we can't even process them fast enough because it's important.
Any other closing thoughts? We're at 2 hours 24 minutes.
Yeah, we should.
The
we
next
should wrap
one's
this up.
going to be shit, and I'm very excited about it.
When's the next one? Next week or next month?
No,
or-
it's next month. It's
Okay.
it's
Usually
in
within a
September. We
Need
should
official
do
bingo cards and prizes.
a bit. We should do a drinking game. I think that's the only way we're gonna get through
Should
it.
we actually make cards? Like, we could make like little digital cards.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
And there's
Or-
a
or
prize.
should-
There's a
whoever
website
wins
out there
first.
that will make you bingo cards if you just like label the squares.
Oh.
Yes.
Can you give me the link?
I'll have to
September
look it up.
20
Okay.
September 27th in Simi Valley, so it's going to be on my time zone
Is that,
at the
so-
Ronald Reagan. It's at Ronald Reagan.
Oh, so it's in Cali, and like, is that LA area?
Ooh, it's a
Simi
Wednesday
Valley,
night
so
again.
it's like mid LA.
It's a date.
I'm going to be very, very interested in who the big donors gravitate to after this, or if they do at all, because the big donors have completely pulled out.
Yeah.
They've basically said all of you guys need to moderate or go to the center, and you're so far right that it's scary. It's so scary that even money is scared.
I don't think any of them did that. Anyone who's already out there didn't come
Christie
back.
did. Christie
Well, yeah,
did.
but he's not already out there. Vivek went like full like Mussolini out there.
Yeah.
I think Christie was talking to the donors, and Vivek was talking to his friends in an Xbox Live party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was courting Trump's base. He wants to be the person that succeeds him because he probably knows Trump is screwed.
It's not going to work for him. Like
but
DeSantis tried that and it didn't work.
He doesn't understand that by one little truth on his website, he will body bag you.
Yeah.
He will, one insult, and all of that steam you just had is gone. Because they're dumb. And they don't think about what you're saying. They just like to be excited about things. And if you say things in a good voice, like when I do with my puppy, they get all cheery-eyed and their butt starts moving. Like,
Also,
he's gonna eat you up, little Indian kid. Like, they're gonna fucking get some nasty. Like, if you don't think the nasty racist shit hasn't started, oh, buddy boy, it's on its way. They're about
Also-
to fucking tear your ass up.
Vivek got roughed up in this debate. He got roughed up by Mike Pence in this debate.
That's
Mike
rough.
Pence is the most boring milquetoast guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
Kind of slapped him.
He's so milk toast that they misspelled milk when they described him.
What do you mean? It's mulk toast.
Who doesn't love
He did
milk?
score. He did score points when he talked down about Putin, though. Did
Yeah.
score points.
Good
Yeah.
shit.
He called Putin
Piece
a
of shit.
murderer. That's right. He did call Putin
Yeah.
a murderer.
Yeah.
I think
Especially
he-
since we didn't really talk about like they straight up murdered Prigozhin today.
legit. Plane fell out of the sky, my ass.
Mhm.
That lifted off from Moscow. It was outside Moscow when it crashed.
Yeah, no, that
We don't
That
even know if
mysteriously.
he was alive.
There's a lot of
That is true.
South,
He may not have even
Beforehand.
been in that plane. A lot.
there's
don't
a
even
lot of
know if
South
he was
American
alive in the plane.
dictators that face the same fate when they wouldn't play ball with America. So
Yeah.
Putin's playing by the same playbook that the United States has been.
It was
Yeah,
it was 10 people he didn't like that was flying in that plane. All
learned-
already dead. All
And
flying in
today-
a Ghost 8 remote controlled plane that just happened to
Remote
crash.
control, yeah.
today was 2 months to the day that Prigozhin started that march on Moscow.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was planned.
He made it twice as
Yep.
long as I thought.
So
Y'all keep fucking acting like Putin. Like Vivek thinks Putin is like this person. Like, oh, I can just do this and he's like Sir Didymus in fucking the Labyrinth. Like he's just bouncing around with all this little energy. Dude, he will kill you. He just killed his own guy. What are you talking about? You don't give him shit. What is wrong with you? Look at
And
what
that's-
he's doing actively today.
And that's not even talking about several other high-key Russian generals that have not been seen in months.
And or people with fucking uranium in their fucking coffee and shit. Like, come on. Like,
Putin is the reason why people know what the word defenestrate means.
Oh yeah.
like you can't.
Oh, a guy fell out a window.
Yeah, like I don't. Maybe it's like that kiss up. Like I'll be a good boy thing. That's like it's just like catching, and he can't turn it off. And then he sees Putin as a strong man, so then he does it on that too. Like I don't know, bro. They're not gonna.
Be seen as one of the good ones.
They're not gonna accept you, bro. This is not the UK.
Nope.
You will never get in office, my man. Sorry. Kumail Nanjiani can't even get a fucking Netflix special. What the fuck chance do you have? He's hilarious. And ripped, by the way. He was in that last Disney movie. One of those Disney movies.
So that's it for this episode of Speaking from the Center. Join us next week when we'll talk about the Trump stuff, I'm sure.
We have to talk about World War Africa too, because that shit might pop off soon, and we haven't talked.
Well,
about
yeah,
it,
because
so-
Prigozhin had a big hand in all that shit. So
Yeah, he was helping out with some of the defectors.
there's some. Yeah, he was
The junta.
The Wagner Group was security for a lot of these countries that are now not going to have the Wagner Group to fall back on.
So now it looks like democracy might be able to punch back through.
Come
Hey,
on,
Tim, would you
Wagner,
like a
march on
special
Moscow
guest
2.0.
Would you like a special guest on September 20th?
Yes.
September. Yeah, sure.
Please.
I like it.
I would love to come on and promote the healthcare system, and B, it's Aortic Health Week.
Yes.
Dun, dun,
Book
dun,
it.
dun, dun.
Mikey Famine, book it.
It is so booked.
All right.
Does anybody have any friends online that I should stream or rate us out to?
I have the same friends that you have on that screen. So
That's true. Well, I got some of my like
I'm not
personal
even
ones.
looking.
Let me pull up my Twitch here.
I got Cirrus is on.
There is Cirrus. There is
Echoplex is going to.
the
Let's go to
the-
Cirrus.
The bin pod.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't see anybody on, dude.
The pad tast.
All right, YouTube people, you won't get this, but Twitch people, thanks for hanging out. You guys are gonna go hang out with Necosaurus. Cirrus is a very, very smart person. Probably doing non-smart things right now, but it's a fun time. So go
Probably.
hang out. Bye.
He's running a subathon right now, so if you can donate to him and help him out for his latest adventures, that would be cool.
We've already gone, sweet.
I already pushed the button.
Oh, we've already.
I already clicked it.
We're already there.
I don't want to break your stride though. You know, it's bad. It's like when you make a horse clip themselves. So yeah, YouTube people, you guys are great. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.